and we are back for more Sunday Fundays. I'm very, very excited to be with this awesome group. I adore all these people, just like I adore all the people that were here last time. So if you are just now joining us, welcome to the second half of Sunday Funday, which has started a smidge late thanks to technical difficulties, but I'm making up for time. And I'm really, like I said, really, really excited to be back here. Doing this with all these cool people. So, first, let's start and find out who all these cool people are. Please know, as we go through Sunday Funday, this is a community-based game. What does that mean? Well, that means that everybody that you see on screen is part of the dot line, which is the little dot community. And you get to sign up to play in these. You can actually do that. We have sign-ups right now, and the best way to do that and find out more about signing up is to join my Discord. There's a link right there for you. We do a lot of chatting. Come join the Discord. Come find out more. We've got a whole Sunday Funday forum, and you can find the signups for April, May, and June. And I have a very exciting announcement, as we will be bringing in, thank you, we will be bringing in a fate into our next round of Sunday Fundays. It will not just be Dungeons and Dragons, so very, very, very exciting there. On top of that, I believe in collaborative storytelling. That's why I love tabletop RPG so much. But most importantly, you can join in the collaborativeness by helping affect the story. You can see by giving tips and bits. You can help us do all kinds of things. Donate nat 20s, give special blessings. At a certain level, you can even tell me what happens and wear the GM pants for a minute or two. And I believe there's even a way to give people basically, if in D&T terms, are called wild magic surges. These are in the dot lot community are known as wild magic dots. Very similar to the black spot that appears on cursed pirates. You can too also give a curse. You can find out more about doing that there, but more importantly, you can add to the list of magical dots. So when somebody donates one, you tell me which character gets it, and they get to roll off of this table. Correct. You can totally donate tip to cause Steph to have a curse. So if you click on the little section down below that says tips and bits, it will take you to a page that tells you at what level you need to donate to be able to make somebody roll off the magic dot. And I believe it is $5 or 500 bits. To do that. So help yourself, and it looks like curses may be abounding this time around. But before we start cursing characters and people, we should probably find out who they are. So let's go around to the cast, find out who you are and who you'll be playing today. And we're going to start with Kristen.
Oh, hey. Hey, Kristen. Find me on the IT Parade, or Pirate. Now it has changed. Oh, boy. And I'm playing Branwyn. She is a tiefling warlock, and I am ready for these curses.
Bring on the curses. Start dishing curses. You heard it. I think last time we had some nat 20s that were passed out because they were like feeling sorry for these characters. I think now that they don't feel so sorry for everybody.
I didn't get one of the advantages last time, so awesome. It's all good. Awesome. Yeah, I had a blast last time or last month, and yeah, looking forward to playing with these fabulous people today.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're back. At least I didn't scare you off too bad.
No. I mean, I loved playing in the game last time, and yeah, Steph definitely encouraged playing today, and I'm truly excited to play with her. Like, finally,
right, yeah. Very cool. Awesome. Well, we have another good friend of mine at the table, which I don't know. Zach, have you been on the channel before?
Maybe not this one, but I was in one of your games online during the end of the Galleria of Grinrundi.
That's right. So that was long, long ago over on ERP. Oh, I remember that. God, that's been like, what, a year and a half or something? Crazy.
It doesn't feel it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have one of my good friends, Zach, here at the table with us today. A part of the community. He has been shouting the good word of Genesis over on the Discord. And more importantly, he's all involved in the North by Northwest podcast. So, you know, I won't spoil who he is unless he wants to spoil it. But, you know.
I may have been a particular bird friend.
So not only is he my bird friend, but he's actually my real friend. So Zach, tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Today I am playing Gurn Durgat, a copper dragonborn barbarian / gladiator, and he's up to fighting.
He is so up to fighting. Well, that's good.
He wants to be the greatest that ever was, and that is his motivation.
Wow.
The best around.
Well, he may have it cut out for him today. I'm pretty excited to introduce a new character, so we will see how this goes. And somebody that, if you've been watching my Super Duper campaign, you're gonna recognize. Academic Foxhole, or Trooper, as I like to call him, is here today playing our Lord. And we're going to talk more about what makes him a Lord, I guess. But tell us who you are and who your character is. Trooper.
Hi, I am Trooper SJP, and you can find me at Trooper SJP on Twitch. Also, Academic Foxhole on Twitter, where I'm philosophizing on what even Twitter means. Who even knows what it means? You can find me at Super Duper on Little Red Dots off _ the table, GM'd by Little Red Dot, a Fate game where I'm Zeke Hart, the prospector, who's not crazy. Everyone else is crazy, just in case. And next Saturday is the very last session of Night Witches, which I've been running on Geek Space TV about Soviet World War II airwomen, and that's going to be sort of epic.
Very cool. I love that.
Oh, and I'm playing Human Fighter Noble, Lord Florian, rank of Greendale. Baron, Earl, Marquis.
The tags are in the mail.
Of yesteryear?
Of yesteryear. Of a
Duke,
bygone age.
I'm going to leave the GM to let me know what my actual noble rank is.
Sure. And we will definitely get to that because actually, unlike a lot of my games, noble rank may actually come into play in this game. So we're gonna be doing some things here. Okay, very cool. And last but certainly not least, somebody that I have to say is probably one of the biggest cheerleaders that I have just across the board in all the many things that I do and all the many things literally I'm pretty sure everybody online does. Magical. They are magical in how much information that they take in from people's podcasts and content. So I welcome Steph the Bard here today. Very excited to be playing with you, Steph. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Oh, if I could stop blushing. I'm Steph, or you can find me around on Discord as Steph the Bard. I am playing Aiden, a Wood Elf Paladin, and I should mention my pronouns are she, her, but Aiden's are they, them.
Great. Very helpful. And definitely, if you feel like it is not evident, it is helpful always to put pronouns for your characters if that is something that is important to you. So we will make that note. Thank you, Steph, that Aiden is they, them. For everybody here at my table, just so you know, we do use XO and N cards. For those of you at home that don't know this, if at any point things get a little dramatic, which is not usually the Sunday Funday vibe, but it happens. Drama happens at the least expected times. And something gets a bit heavy or crosses what we consider a line or a veil for you as a person, not as a character, they can message me directly and let me know by putting an X card, meaning this is a hard stop for them. An N card meaning we're getting real close to a line, and I will do my best as a DM to obviously steer us clear, or an O. That way, in case we do get dramatic and we're crying, I know that I'm not actually hurting your feelings, or you're not actually, like, really feeling the thing, so O lets us know, hey, I'm having a good time, and I'm crying. You know, these kinds of things. But as a GM, I don't need an explanation, and I always tell my characters that. If you send me an X card, I don't need a reason why. I will cut black, and we will move on. Part of the things that I like to do at my table. Yeah, no, yes, thanks, Arvin. Nothing dramatic ever happens. Well, speaking of nothing dramatic ever happening, we have our first disadvantage and magic dot roll to make. So, Steph, you do get your first roll as a disadvantage, just so that you know. And on top of that, you have also been gifted a roll from the magic dot table for your first curse. So we're going to start out by having you roll that. Right now, in terms of submissions from everybody, we have exactly 45. So I'm going to have you roll a d45 and roll 20. You can just manually type that in, and then we'll see what number you get. Oh my.
Oh no.
An early number. Okay, this ought to be fun. I will not tell you yet what that is.
Oh no!
I'm gonna just hang on to that one. We will make that story specific. So let's dive right in. For those of you that may be new to Sunday Fundays, we are playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And most of the time, because I do 2 shows, I run one off of a module, which we did this morning, and then I run one that is mostly made up by me and improvised, which is going to be your game today. So everything takes place starts at a tavern, a pub in the middle of nowhere, a very infamous tavern in the adventuring, traveling, and scoundrel community, really, known as the Ginger Brew Pub. It is not only built, run, and operated by a single dwarf, known as Brulnice Lady Chops. Brulnice is known for the giant lady chops that come down her face into braids, and she brews the land's greatest red ale. How she does it and what she puts in it, we don't know. But we do know, via rumors and whispers, that if you drink enough of it, it's supposed to have healing properties. Now, Brulnice does not care about race or alignment or a lot of the things that plague other taverns. Here, all are welcome. So each of you have managed to find your way here. It is on a major road that leads towards Waterdeep, so there's a possibility you may be traveling through. Maybe you need a place to rest. People looking for work, a place to hawk their wares. All these things are able and to be found at the Ginger Brew Pub. But let's just kind of, I'm gonna do what I call a popcorn round. I'm trying to do this a little bit more instead of me directing who goes next. I'll pick the first person, and then you get to pick the next person, and so forth until everybody goes. Branwen, what has brought you to Brulnice's pub?
This fine wine that, Brandon has traveled just to drink this magical, elixir, if you will. But, she likes to partake in a lot of the drinking, and she is currently getting lit. So
Brulnice loves this. Brulnice loves that you're getting lit. The more lit you get, the more booze you buy, the more she can pour into this little quaint pub she's got. Which has actually started to draw a bit of a crowd. Some people have started to build small homes and things around the area. People begin to hawk their wares outside, creating more of like a thwarp almost in the area. An official D&D term for the record. Learned this. A thwarp is smaller than a village. And
learn that too.
Right, I think a thwarp officially is like 75 people or less. Thwarp. And this is kind of beginning to pop up. Like I said, it's a renegade area, but there's a lot of people here who are finding your reason for traveling here simply to turn up right up their Sunday Funday alley.
She's a bit of a mess. Don't have to hold her hair back quite yet, but she is probably like talking to everyone, and little flirty, little messy. Not gonna pick stuff for the next.
Brulnice, I mean, if you're flirty, Brulnice is gonna flirt back with you, especially if it means you're gonna buy more booze. So she's probably leaned far too far over the table.
Oh yeah.
Spill out of a very tight vest, probably because she's outgrown it over the years. She did take an arrow to the knee. She's gained some weight. This is why she started the pub. Adventuring wasn't really her thing. But that being said, Branwen, you look around in your drunken stupor. Who else do you see in this pub that you wonder how they made it here?
I guess I would see like some maybe some light shining in from the tavern that is like catching some armor, and it just kind of catches her eye. Like, okay, that's a weird way that, just like one crack of light is kind of peering in. So yeah.
Nice. And it gleams off of, are you wearing armor, Lord Florian?
Well, you see, I am, but you wouldn't be able to tell because I'm wearing a ratty, old-looking sort of a cloak over my very expensive armor. But you wouldn't be able to know because I'm incognito.
Oh, well then, maybe it is a shine of a shoe. Something catches in this sunlight, Branwen, that comes through. Lord Florian, Branwen makes eyes at you. I mean, they're drunken eyes, but they're eyes nonetheless.
She's trying to focus. Like
it's not good eyes. It's more like. And what brings you here, Lord Florian?
Well, I imagine what was shiny that caught her eye was indeed my boots, because they are immaculately polished, as a matter of fact. So the cloak looks a bit ratty, but if you see the boots, they're lovely. They're very nice boots. Lord Florian is the eldest son of the of Greendale, the Duchy, Barony,
We'll say the Duke.
Yes,
the Duke of Greendale.
Yes, the Duchy of Greendale. I'm the eldest son. And, here's the thing to know about this. He's got sort of rich brown skin and this sort of old cloak. And he's got no one with him. You can see he's got a rapier on his side. But the thing is, nobles, they go on and on about like this and that, but they don't live. Do you know what I mean? They don't go off into the world and see things as they are. They don't earn their keep. So Lord Florian, much to his father's dismay, because he is the eldest and he probably should be at home doing something, decided that he wants to live with the people and he wants to sort of earn his name and he wants to adventure. And he's heard that this sort of tavern is a place where people go to find adventures. And he hopes to sort of, get good songs sung about him and do brave deeds and, be somebody who's worthy of leadership.
Sweet summer child.
Oh, yes.
You look like you're in need of leadership.
He's 17, so he doesn't know a lot about the world yet. But
Oh.
That's all right. Well, you've come to the right place because you're probably seeing a lot of stuff.
Oh my.
Just things, it's not necessarily a raunchy place, but again, all people from all alignments are allowed here, evil included.
Oh my.
So you don't really know what to expect coming in her door, but Brulnies has been kind, and has served you a lot of tasty red ale.
Oh, I've never had this sort of ale before.
Well, I hope not, because I brews it up myself.
Oh, well, my dear lady, I must say, your lady chops are the most exquisite chops I've ever seen in my entire life.
She bets. Well, I know. You don't think we'd be called the lady chops if all the ladies didn't have the best chops that had ever chopped?
Well, they are the best, and I hope one day that I might be able to grow chops as lovely as yours, although I doubt it, because they are magnificent.
Because you're not a lady chop.
Right, yes. Well, yes, indeed.
Do you usually wear nice shoes and shitty cloaks?
Oh, well, I'm incognito. No one knows who I am.
It doesn't really work if you tell people you're incognito.
Oh.
You simmer on that. Let me get you another drink. And she waddles past, stopping at Aiden's table. Aiden. She goes, "You need some more?"
I'll have another.
You're new here. I've not seen you before. What brings you in this place?
Well, looking for work. You know how that is. The forest only provides so much jobs.
Oh, yeah. I remember those days. I don't do that no more. I just get up and serve people alcohol.
I tried that life for a while with alchemy, but war kind of changed things. So now I'm out here.
War's overrated. She
It is.
scoops something up off the table and slams it in her face. Leftovers from the person that walked out. Looking for work. So gold. You want to get paid. Am I understanding that right?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Well, based on these figures here, not everybody wants gold, but I got something you might want to look at. I'll be right back. I gotta go fill and check on Gurndurgit. She walks over. She goes, "Well, Gurndurgit. You want some
Branwen
more?"
is saying everything like that right now.
Yeah, everything slurs and it just sounds that way.
Gobber.
Well, Gurndurgit.
Could you get me like a glass that fits in my mouth? Because it's like I'm trying to pour it in the side and it keeps spilling all over the place.
Oh, you want a bit long straw?
It'd be helpful.
I got just a thing. I'll be right back. And Brony's like scutters off to the back. It is kind of more of a mid-afternoon. This is not the average drinking hour. You suspect when the sun goes down that might change. So it's really just the four of you and a few other shady people. There's an old dude sleeping in the corner. She comes waddling back out. She refills everybody that needed the refill. She brings a straw over to Gerdernit. As she like slips it in, she says, I think this'll, maybe you could just decide.
So he takes it and just tries to find between which pair of teeth he's just going to commit to on this. And he starts sipping and he's like, this is pretty good.
I know, I made it.
Oh, I mean, thank you. That's already it's been a week.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, the lots of you, and she kind of points to the four of you, she's they is looking for work, at least that's what Aiden told me, and, I'm Bronies. I'm in on knowledge of things.
Of adventure?
She, like, eyeballs you. Sure. Adventure.
Oh.
I've been asked, by some... She kind of, like, motions over, like, come closer to the bar.
and they will.
She kind of slides something across. It's a letter, and she says, I don't usually hire out from the customers and all that, but, this one's a bit on a time constraint.
Wait, are you saying that we have an adventure, perhaps?
What's wrong with us? Why didn't you pick us first?
Well, I did pick you first. I just saying that okay. Let me start at the beginning. I'm Bronies. People bring me things because they feel like, for some reason, people's gonna trust me.
I trust you.
See? It's instant. I don't know what it is. It's got to be the cleavage or something. Anyways, so I have...
Blushes.
She, like, adjusts herself a little bit.
Branwen's gonna come around, like, just hand on her shoulder, like, I trust you. She's staring at her boobs.
Yeah, you should.
You definitely have one of those faces, Bronies.
It's the chops. Maybe it's the combination chops cleavage. The CCs. The double C's.
So is Branwen's like jet friendly hug one of those like over the shoulder hands that's kind of adventurous?
Yeah, it just like it sits, and you know what's funny? They're so high that it actually sits flat. About here, she doesn't seem concerned. You're not the first drunk person who's put hands on her and. If it means you're gonna, she's friendly about it. She seems consensual, we'll say. Oh, thanks, Snow Dogs. Let's see. That does give somebody another roll off of the Wild Magic dot table, which is coming up. So, Snow Dogs, thank you for that. If you want to let me know which player you want to roll off the table, we'll get them rolling. So she continues. They came in. They was kind of creepy, but they seemed to need something done. They believe. And, you're a regal fellow and all that. Shiny shoes and whatnot and incognitos. And, anyways, he said there's a local lady.
Oh.
She's been causing a bit of a stir. It's my understanding she's supposed to be sneaking into a party tonight. An important one. To cause some trouble.
I say, let me ask, I just want to clarify. When you say that there's a lady causing trouble, do you mean a capital L lady, as in the lady, of the something or other, or do you just mean that she's a woman?
Well, her name is Lady Dottie Rouge.
Why would she need to sneak into a party if she's a lady? I would imagine she'd be invited.
Well, you see, it's not, she's got the invite. Is that what she's going to do? She's got to sneak around to do when she gets there.
Oh.
So I thought, since I don't really have any interest in going to parties, and Lord knows I'm not a lord or lady, that maybe I'd just hire a few folks to go, make sure Lady Dottie Rouge doesn't cause any problems.
Oh.
She's a bit of a wild child.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't know anything about that at all, actually. Ever. I mean, I've never been wild, and I've never certainly been drunk at a state function and vomited, in like the Earl's pants in public. I've never done that.
Then
That
you
sounds
truly
almost
haven't
disabled.
lived.
I think, dear boy, we're going to have to let us do the talking.
Oh.
You overshare a tad.
Oh. Well, I'm incognito. No one even knows who I am.
Well, we know you're nobility of some kind.
It's true.
You do?
Your shoes are too shiny.
Shoes are too shiny. And you keep saying you're incognito. So clearly you've never actually left home before.
And nobody uses that word. It's too big. Only fancy folk.
I know what it is.
God darn it! She goes, you're always... God darn it, you're always interrupting. And she says, no, look, what I'm trying to say is I'll outfit you. I'll make sure you get some invitations. You just got to go in and make sure that Lady Dottie Rouge doesn't mess with nothing. The party needs to just be a party.
So are we like providing cover for her being in trouble or what?
I think we're providing distraction so she doesn't cause trouble.
You just wants to make sure that she doesn't fuck it up. So you've got to go in, figure out who she is, and whatever she's got planned, none of us really know. We just know she kind of has something planned. You need to make sure it doesn't happen.
Do we know who's hosting the party?
Yes. Her husband. Well, ex-husband.
Oh. I say.
Ah.
Well, is this ex-husband of hers a knave?
By knave, you mean does he have a belly button?
No, I mean, is he a scoundrel?
I was here thinking, was he a big part of a church or something?
Oh.
Well, okay, this'll be so much fun. We now have a deck of many things draw.
Oh.
Oh, yes. So what I'll do, I'll show you how I usually do deck of many things draw here in a second. And that, I believe, is for, did I get that right? For Lord? Who is that for? Yep. Lord Florian, you want an adventure?
Yes, I say.
You're about to get one. So as Brunice goes, look, there's a lot of details I'm missing. Here's the letter, and she kind of slides it across. It seems to be kind of instructions. It's addressed to Brunice, and it says, Brunice, we are in need of some help. My ex-wife plans to interrupt my party tonight, and it must be stopped. Signed, we'll call him... He's also a duke. We'll call him, That's just the worst with names. Everything I come up with is a pun.
Nice.
We'll call him the
Nothing
Duke.
wrong with that.
Yeah, we'll call him the Duke. Duke Hollow is his name. Duke Hollow.
Oh, chat.
Looking at this letter, I happen to be proficient in calligraphy. I spent quite a bit of time in the castle, practicing my penmanship. So, with my knowledge of calligraphy, what sort of penmanship does this fellow have? Is it good?
Looking at it is very clean. Now, you don't know if this is his penmanship. If he's actually a duke, and you think back to, like, your own father, he's gonna have somebody else write it for him. But it would be, like, the advisor or somebody that has very good handwriting. His seal is also put on it, like, the wax seal that's broken is his crest. Brunice goes, he's up there in that horrible town of Have Hollow. It's about, I don't know, a couple hours, maybe? The party, though, it is tonight. She, like, points to the letter which denotes that. She says, so, I'm gonna be right back. Don't go anywhere and don't do nothing weird. Well, I'm gone. You think you can handle that, god dang it?
I can't make any promises.
God dang it, she says as she turns and walks off, and she goes to the back where, you know, she keeps a lot of things. And you can hear her kind of rustling around as the four of you are kind of left. The older gentleman is sleeping in the corner, still just in his booth, like, passed out. And, yeah, the four of you are kind of left to your own demises at the moment. And something begins to happen. Aiden, you don't know if you drank too much or what it is, but let's see. You're kind of like sitting there and you get this pain in your hand. You look down and there's a dot on the back of your right hand that comes in looking like a steel plate. And as you begin to note it, even rub your fingers over it, your fingers begin to become rigid, as if you can no longer move them. And they stiffen rigidly, and your fingers now become rigid as steel. So we'll talk about what that means to fire a bow, to grab a weapon. You can still cast magic with rigid fingers, but you can't wrap them around anything. So we'll play a little bit with some dexterity things. So you get some rigid fingers. But at the same time, the dreaded wild magic, not wild magic, sorry, deck of many things. So, I'm going to have you draw. Here's how I usually do deck of many things. There are a certain amount of cards, obviously, in it, 22. So what I'm going to do is have you roll a D22. I believe that's how many are in it. Yes. And then I will just align it. What number?
A 12.
A 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, crap. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be
It's exciting.
fun. Yeah, you're gonna love this.
It's an adventure, I see.
It is such an adventure. Something, no, you're gonna hate me so much. Something about this old man. You just kind of look at him and you're like, man, isn't he cute? And somewhere out in the universe, somebody draws from the deck of many things, and they draw the void. They flip the card over. It is black. And somewhere out in the universe, it connects to a person's soul. Somebody that needs it more than anything. Somebody that seeks adventure.
Oh.
And as that card is flipped, by whoever it is, wherever they are, your soul becomes drawn from your body.
Oh.
And I'm going to contain it in that of the old man. You guys watch as the current body you're in becomes extremely incapacitated. And your soul, yeah, and it just like flops over. Your soul takes over inside of that of the old man. You have your same thoughts. You speak the same. Everything is the same, except you have basically taken on the body of somebody different than yourself, which happens to be a 70-year-old old guy. We'll see if you can get untrapped, but that's where you are. And you guys watch. All you know is Lord Florian just like goes face down into the bar.
Then you hear the old guy in the corner go, "Oh, I say, this is rather odd. Oh, my back. What does this feel like? Oh.
And I imagine
Some people can't hang.
What am I doing over there? What am I doing over here?"
Yeah, Aiden tries to go and check to make sure that Lord Florian is okay, and then realizes that they cannot move their hands.
Yeah, you're like, what? And you kind of touch, you even check for a pulse. You're able to like do that. His body is still alive. It just seems incapacitated in some way, as if it's unable to move. So you take for that kind of what you want. You're welcome to make a medicine check, anybody that wants to do further like investigation on his state, or you can roll an Arcana check to see if you can deduce it.
Arcana was where I was going.
Yeah, that's...
Go for it. Okay. That could have gone good. But it did come at disadvantage. I forgot you had that first disadvantage roll. That's right. All right. Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon's gonna do... Nice. 21.
21. Okay. It's gotta be these stiff-ass fingers. It's gotta be. I know I nailed an Arcana check. You realize based on the Arcana that, something magical has obviously taken place. And with this high of a roll, you also realize that, His soul has taken over a new vessel, is the easiest way that you can kind of put it, and in layman's terms. Now, how this has happened, you're unsure. It's not unheard of. Everything from liches to liches to witches use this literally, this kind of a thing. But what has caused it is a lot more unsure, and you don't know how long it's going to last, or if it is a permanent thing.
Well, yeah, she's gonna communicate that, like, his body's been switched. Sir, if you're a sir still, what is your name?
Now the old guy in the corner's like, it's me. I'm the one. I'm the one whose soul's been switched. That's all. I'm the one. Oh, ouch. Is this what it feels like to be old? I feel like
buddy.
I feel like I've taken an arrow to the knee.
Hey, that's not funny. That happened to a friend of mine.
Brody's hold from the back. I know what that feels like.
Apparently I do as well. Oh.
Human aging is so strange.
I shamble over. I go,
So let me give you an idea of what you actually look like, Lord Florian. This character is another regular .NPC and player, or character that I play, known as Mostly There Malone. His name is Mostly There Malone because that's another story.
Last time I saw him, he was in a porta potty.
Correct. Last time you saw Mostly There Malone, he was in a porta potty on a deserted island of cursed pirates. So, Mostly There Malone is a character that I play. He's old and he never knows where he is or how he got where he is. Because he has a large crack in his cranium that like dips in, and he can't keep short-term memories.
and also apparently he gets soul swapped sometimes.
Now he does, and he definitely is not going to know where he's at. So, he is old and haggard. He's an old pirate, actually. So, he's got the wear and years of the sea to top it off. And, on him are very few things. He wears very little clothing. He's kind of like hunched and frail, like thin, kind of bulging pot belly. And he has very few teeth. He's bald, completely bald. And he has just a few ragged teeth that hang in his mouth. He does wear a little, like, bandana to keep his dent hidden.
I say, this will be a bit tricky, I think. First off, I don't think my father will recognize me, will he? This might be a problem for succession.
Oh, you wanted an adventure.
Well, apparently, but I'm afraid that my beloved won't love me anymore.
I'm sure we'll find a way to handle this. Between your body switching and now I can't use my hands.
Wait, you can't use your hands?
No.
Her hands are rigid.
I'm trying. As you just see their hands just kind of like this. Trying to flex them and nothing is happening except their wrists are moving.
Yeah. You can do like this, but the hands themselves, none of the fingers will bend. And it's about this time Brulnice comes bursting out of the back. She now sees the scene in front of her. The four of you standing there, Aiden's hands like this. Like, what do I do with my hands? A Lord Florian passed out face first into the bar, and now Mostly There Malone, who Brulnice is very familiar with, standing up and seems relatively confident in communicating, and she goes, "Oh, Malone! Well, look at you, being all social today. I thought you was tired."
Well, I say, can I make a history roll to see what I know about Lord Duke Hollow?
You sure can. And while you do that, Brunice is like, "What happened to your voice?"
14.
You know, Lord Hollow is the lord of a place called Have Hollow. He is the duke of a place called Have Hollow, which is a small bog town, about an hour from here. It's known for a strange manor that overlooks the town, and he holds an annual party. And when you begin to put together who he is, Lord Florian, you know a lot about this party. Well, better yet, question, how innocent is Lord Florian?
Well, if you want to know what my flaw is, it is by my words and actions I often bring shame to my family. I'm also chaotic good, so I sometimes don't do the things I'm supposed to, you know.
Okay, you've never received an invitation to Duke Hollow's party, but you've always wanted one.
Oh.
Because it is a top-of-the-line masquerade, we'll call it. Where lords, ladies, dukes, and everything in between of considered royalty, courtly folk, come together wearing their absolute best, adorned in animal mask for what might be considered a orgy?
Oh my. I've always wanted to go to an orgy. I've never been invited.
It's a big event. They dance, they eat, they drink, but most importantly, everybody takes on their animal facade. They eat from troughs. They fornicate openly. They dance and grind. And it's not a big secret that some of the royalty find this party to be way too risque, and more importantly, to be kind of icky and unbecoming of anybody that considers themselves royalty. Then there's the rest of the royalty that's like, F that, this is fun, and I'm royalty and I'll do what I want. So there's kind of two sides of this, but you know, if nothing else, that Duke Hollow is known for very little. He runs his town poorly, it stays poor, and because of this strange manner in Have Hollow, he can't get people to move there. So the only thing he's known for is his annual masquerade.
Is there any gossip about the divorce?
Oh, yeah. Roll a history. Okay. Roll a history.
11.
An 11. You're not, if there is gossip, you're not terribly privy to it. You know that Lady Dottie Rouge is a bit of a prude.
Oh.
And more importantly, she's not a very nice woman.
Mm-hmm.
It can be rightfully assumed that an orgy may not be the thing to impress your prude of a wife. And that she began to pick up on the fact that it may be his way to commit adultery on an annual basis, openly.
Awkward.
Very awkward. And she's kind of got fed up with it, and he kicked her out.
Oh.
So she has been in exile, Lady Dottie Rouge.
Oh.
That is the most you know about the details of the split. We'll say it's there's a lot more there, but you at an 11 you don't know it.
I'm only 17. So barely there, Malone goes, well, what I would say is that as far as I know from my father, who's nobody because I'm incognito, apparently I'm very incognito now, Duke Hollow has an annual party, but it's a masquerade party, so we should all wear animal masks. And it's sort of, well, naughty. People, they get naked and they do naughty things in the hallway.
Brunice is like jaw dropped watching Malone say these things, and in such a voice, she's like, is anybody else weirded out by Malone? What happened to him? And why is he talking about fornicating and suches?
Well,
there was a strange magic surge, and now Malone is
horny.
They're gesturing. I'm pointing.
Yeah, you're like trying to like with your hands. Bronice is very confused. She says, "Okay, so he went from there," and she points to his like limp body, to there. Where did Malone go?
I assume that he's in my body.
She like slaps your body around. It doesn't wake. She just like smacks your face a little bit.
Oh.
No, I don't think he's in there. That usually works to wake him up. Wow. And we're gonna get some more deck of many things because why not more chaos, right? To start off our adventure. Why not more chaos? So we've gotten another donation that came through. Thank you for that. This time around, let's see. Gerdurgit, you're gonna get one, and so is Branwyn.
Oh,
Enjoying the
So,
plot.
yeah.
Share the love.
Like I said, so roll a d22. That's very kind, and we'll make sure not to draw the same card. So if you roll whatever it was, 10 or 12 or whatever, roll again.
12.
It was 12. So 15.
Oh wait.
Oh.
No,
Nope, just
I did that wrong.
I was like, that was strange.
How do I do things?
Type /R
Oh no,
D22.
I don't know. Where am I doing things?
Oh, I'm sorry. Inside of roll 20. In the
Yeah.
chat box, you can just type /R.
Oh, in the chat box.
Yeah. Type. This is how you manually roll. So /R, and then space D22, and that should roll a
Ooh.
D22. Perfect. Yeah, a 17. So 15.
Learning everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
15 and 17. That's what Sunday Fun Days are for. Fun and learning. 1, 2.
And drinking.
All right.
These cards are cursed.
Oh
Mhm.
no. Okay.
No, that's for your
Yeah, this is Gerdurgit first. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, this ought to be fun. I just gotta make sure I know what happens here.
shenanigans?
Oh, that's never
Okay.
a good thing when Dad
Okay.
makes it.
Is this the
Gerdurgit.
one where all of my non-magical items disappeared?
This is not that one. Praise be. This is not that one. This one instead is actually way too appropriate. Gerdurgit, as you listen to this conversation, your intelligence literally begins to drop. As somebody out in the universe drew the idiot card. So you will reduce your intelligence by 1d4 plus 1. So go ahead and just roll a 1d4 plus 1.
All I'm gonna
That's
say
so much.
is, all I'm gonna say is there's a chance I might go negative here.
Oh, yes!
Oh,
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Oh, okay, 3. So it drops by 3 wherever that takes you.
Ooh. Oh.
so you've got a 5 intelligence now?
Uh-huh.
I've got a 7 wisdom, so I feel like we're a good pair.
Oh god, I love that. All right.
This many?
Wow. The good news is, with the deck of many things also comes good things. Also comes good things. Praise be, because I don't know that our game could have handled another chaotic.
Maybe?
Maybe. So as all this is going on, the intelligence of Gerdurgit begins to dwindle. She's gesturing. Brunice is trying to figure out what's going on. She's smacking Lord Florian's limp body around.
And I wince every time. Like, that's my face. Oh.
She goes, "Wake up, Malone." Malone. Branwyn, as you're watching all of this go down, an item begins to appear in your hands. And you know what? I'm gonna do a really bizarre magical item.
I like.
Things you don't want
Actually, it
to
says
be
it did say magical weapon. So out in the universe somewhere, here comes another donation. Out in the universe somewhere,
We are never getting out of this.
This is Sunday Fun Day, though. I hope you guys are ready for fun. So a weapon begins to appear in your hand, and you're and you're like, what is this? And this is actually going to be. I think I'm gonna give you. Yeah, I am. I am. That's good. Because it's one of those weapons you're like, what the hell is this, Chelsea? Somewhere out there, maybe it's actually Malone that is pulling these cards, pissed that he was knocked from his body.
Poor Malone.
Oh, Malone. He gives you a net. In your hand appears a net. Not just any net, but a net of +3.
Oh.
A net of +3 basically gives you a +3 bonus to attack rolls made with a net. But what basically appears in your hands is a smelly fishing net. And you're like, what the hell is this? Like, yeah, you're like, where did this come from? And it just appears out of nowhere. And Brunice is like, either we have drank way too much, I brewed up a bad batch with those mushrooms in it, or it's time for me to go to bed.
That is never a bad batch. That's
always a good batch.
Always the best.
And she says, so I'm going to just make this short, sweet, and to the point, because I feel like the longer that we stand here, the more chaos you bring into my bar. Okay? In this box, and she kind of sets like a vegetable crate on top, it has a slew of masks in it, along with some fine attire. Some nicer things. And she also hands over 4 pieces of paper that seem to be maybe the invitations to this party. And she goes, look, the party's in a few hours. You're going to want to get suited up. She points to it. Make sure you can get entry. She points to the invitation. And just whatever you do, go away. Please.
Gurndurg looks at the net that Florian now has. That's who has it.
Branwyn.
Looks at
Branwyn
his
has
own, then looks at the net that he already has, attached to his harness, and goes, "You have a net too. We should hang out."
We are hanging out.
Oh, good.
Do you think it would be inappropriate if I don't like these clothes. Do you think it might be all right if I, took my own body to the storage room and perhaps undressed myself and then redressed myself, but in my own clothes?
I mean, isn't this a naked party?
Well, you don't start naked. You have to show up looking very nice. And then you get naked.
That seems like too much
So it's all
work.
about the decorations underneath the clothing. Body chains and the like.
Broadness goes, look, it's your body. As long as it's consensual, I guess you can undress yourself.
I give myself consent. I just pick up this old Malone, just pulls myself over my shoulders like, so sorry, private room?
Oh,
Place?
yeah. There's a porta potty out back.
Oh, well, I suppose that is adventurous. Excuse me. And as he pulls this body over his shoulder, the cloak sort of, is dislodged. And you see this body wearing like really expensive custom dyed green studded leather armor with a tabard with like a family crest on it. Like clearly very nice clothes, but there was an old cloak, so you couldn't tell. But like he just sort of like takes this very nice looking body towards the porta potty.
Yeah, and you're able to take him out there and switch outfits if that is your intent. Do you leave your body in the port, or in the outhouse?
Well, then he comes back with the body in underwear and small clothes. Pardon me. He's like, so I have a half naked me. Then, what do I do with me?
Broadness goes, I'm out. This is too much. You wipes the counter. Just go put him back where you found him.
In the porta potty?
No, in the corner.
Oh.
It'll be the first time we've had a half-naked person in the corner.
All right. If my father finds out, he'll be so embarrassed again. Oh well. And then I just place my body in small clothes in the corner, and then I sort of put my cloak. No, I need that to be incognito. Oh, I think I am incognito. So then I put my ratty cloak around my half-naked body, and then like a flagon of ale just there so people think that I'm drunk, not dead. And then I come back. Oh, that hurts. And then I just take my rapier, and it looks like this old guy rolled Lord Florian and stole all this stuff. That's what it looks like.
And your body limp. It doesn't move. Like I said, the spirit of Malone is out there somewhere fucking with all of you. It doesn't seem to be in this body. But when you would purse one soul out of a body, they gotta hop until all the souls are filled, so you don't know who's coming for this empty body yet. You have no idea who's coming for the empty body. Yeah, that's a whole separate game. And Brolnies goes, yeah, look, just, why don't you, take one of the kegs out back, maybe a nice offering? They'll take some booze, yeah? It's good marketing for me.
Oh, yes.
I mean, everybody at sex parties drink, right?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I haven't been to any yet, but do we need animal masks, actually? Can we get some, do you think?
Oh, she points to she goes, right there. I've got you a few. There's some things in the crate.
Oh, I've really let myself go, haven't I? Look at this pot belly. Ooh.
Yeah, except your arms are like frail.
Yes.
They're like this big around, you know, and like it's just your belly that's a little poochy. And she goes, so have fun and don't be late. You know he doesn't like you to be late. And we can't have anyone left out. Steph, roll that D22. We have
Join us in the
I was going
pit.
to say 4 cards now from the deck of many things. The fact that this campaign or this game is still going, period, is a miracle. It is a miracle. Count
We
them.
have not left the briefing room. I swear we were playing Paranoia.
I think you have to re-roll stuff.
Okay, it's okay. Roll again because you got a 15. We want to pull a different. That card's just not in the deck anymore, so can't even roll that one technically. Oh, a high card. A very high card. This one may have to come in later.
Oh
My, Steph. Okay, this is very exciting. You may not be able to bend your fingers.
Oh no.
But, that being said, you can, in fact, do other things, because you just gained 50,000 experience.
Oh.
Which I think levels you up quite a lot. I would need to check, but I think that levels you up from level 4 to level 5 or 6 now.
Oh man.
So you can do that like later, but just know if there's anything in particular that needs to go up. And on top of that, a wondrous item appears in your hand. And I need to figure out what that wondrous item is. So I'm gonna look some things up and I will let you know, but I wonder if you're gonna get a wondrous item.
Nice. And I get my extra attack.
There
Yes.
you go. That's 2 good things and 2 horrible things.
Yes.
Is basically what happened during this.
While this is happening, might I just take a shower and shave and get ready? Because I smell awful. I can't go to a sex party smelling like this. Brunice, would you mind?
There's a trough out front.
No, I meant something less smelly. I'm trying to get less smelly.
Oh, well, I bathe in the trough out front, so if you're looking for something more than that,
Hot water in a basin? Clean water.
hot water. She like lets out this like super hearty laugh as if she's never heard of such. Like, have you lost your damn mind? She goes, well, I mean, there is a clean spring just round the corner. You could go down and, like, you know, bathe in the spring.
Well, all right. I'm going to take my kit and I'm going to try to make myself look more presentable. I can't do anything about the teeth. Does anyone want to come and bathe with me?
Says the old man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm gonna stay here and drink some more before we drink at the party.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to be naked in public.
Okay, have fun. Bye.
Have fun.
You look at your body that's your actual body that's already naked, realizing that in the new body you have, you're also going to get naked.
Oh, well, they always say that I embarrass my parents. Oh, well. I'm going to go get naked in public by the spring and shower, shave, and try to make myself look as presentable as possible for this party.
Durgit would like to examine the masks that Brolnus has provided.
Yeah, you gotta take a peek. Having a low intelligence score, one of them seems to be a wolf mask. You can readily make that one out. One of them seems to be some kind of large cat, maybe like a lion or tiger or something. It's a cat-like creature. There is also a something that looks a little bit more like a horse, I guess you could say. This one mask is a little different. It has the long snout, but it just goes up to the ear. So like the eye holes are big and empty. Each of them kind of different. And the last one is a, oh god, I don't know, something bizarre and weird because we're doing this. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. The last one has tentacles hanging from it.
Nice.
It looked like the underside of an octopus, so it's just like a really gross orifice. And then there's just like all these tentacles that like droop from it. You're unsure of what animal that is with your intelligence.
I'm just gonna grab it and try and strap it to my long snout. It might just sit on the end.
Yeah, you managed
Like
to.
a mustache.
You now have this like very strange orifice and drooping tentacles from the end of your long snout. I love that. That's so funny. There's also some like nicer clothes. There's like different vests and things, but I did find the list I was looking for, Aiden. You take on a very interesting item. It appears on your body. You gain what is known as a cloak of iridescence.
Ooh.
It does require atonement, but since this was given to you by the deck, we'll say that doesn't happen. So while you're in an area of bright or dim light, you can pull the cloak over your head, and it causes the scales, because it's made of scales, on the cloak to glimmer and shine. Any creature within 10 feet of you has to make a Constitution saving throw, or they become blinded till their next turn.
Ooh.
Too fancy.
Yeah, you can only use it once, the property has been used twice. It can't be used again until the next dawn. So you just have to, like, wait a day, basically. But it's called the Cloak of Iridescence, and you have one now. Thanks to whatever gypsy woman is out there pulling.
It's Malone. It's Malone doing it.
Also a gypsy woman.
Yeah, both.
Awesome.
As I'm updating my spells.
Yeah, so just update and you can kind of play it. Well, we're not going to be in combat quite yet, so you're good. And
Yeah.
you guys managed to gather yourself. You get dressed. You have 3 masks if you want them. If you would prefer to use magic of some way to make yourself animal-like, I guess you technically can do that too. But Brolnius has provided you technically with what you need.
Yeah, Branwen's gonna grab the wolf mask, if that's all right with everyone, and then just say to Gurnurgit that they looked very nice. You look very
Thank you.
presentable.
I feel like Dapper.
When he talks, the tentacles... No, Dapper.
He's our special boy.
He's so special.
Which leaves horse, and what was the other one?
There's some kind of like horse, a cat, like a large cat, the wolf, and the tentacled orifice.
Sorry, Florian. Aiden's taking the cat.
I know. I realized that I'm not there, so I get the last mask.
Mm-hmm. You're
That's what you get for bathing in public.
yes.
Bathing in bubble.
Horse mask.
So it does look to be a horse, but what's most interesting.
By the way, he comes back, right? And he's freshly shaved. His hair is combed nice. He still has no teeth. But he's wearing, he smells lovely because he has some perfume that he's worn. And he is impeccable, but an old, but in Malone's body.
So for the record, Malone's not been clean in 50 years.
He's clean now.
The things that you found on his body, including the barnacles and things that grow under the folds, some things just can't be scrubbed from your memory or your body. That will forever be one.
Discovered a lot.
You discovered a lot of things, and now you fear aging, for sure. If you did it before, you do now. So
I didn't know you grew barnacles as you got older. Oh, bye.
It's very gross. Some things like out of one of them. It's bad. Malone's a pretty gross human, but you have cleaned Malone up as best as you can. And when you come back, the last mask is this kind of horse-like mask. But there's something different about this horse, as it has a horn that comes out of like the center of the mask. You're welcome to roll to see if you know what a unicorn is, because it's actually a unicorn mask.
I know things. Would this be history?
This would be a history or nature.
All right then. I say a 15.
A 15. You immediately realize that the horn on this thing is in fact a unicorn. That the mask is more signifying of a unicorn and less of like your average horse. All right.
I look at it and I say, one of two things is happening. Either people will think that I'm magical and should know virgins, or that I'm being cheated on by my spouse. I put the because you know the horn. It means you're being cuckolded. Well, but I'm not married. No matter what my parents say.
My puzzler hurts.
I'm just glad it was a horn and not something else.
Oh, that's naughty.
Well,
Makes
party.
note of horn joke. So, you guys finish getting yourself together. You guys look fancy. As fancy as you're gonna get, at least between what you own, what Brulnice has brought you, and the stylings of Lord Florian. And you guys set out. She has put a carriage, actually, together for you, to make sure that you have something to take you in. 2 horses, very nice. And you guys ride. Lord Florian, you know the general direction. And then you can follow the signs from there. It's not a puzzling type thing. Okay, cool. So...
I would like to put my old body in the back of the carriage. We're gonna keep him around.
That will be easy to explain.
Wisdom 7. So we're just gonna my body in the back of the carriage, as if we've kidnapped me. It's fine.
So now we have a half-naked person in the back?
Yes.
Oh my.
Well, if I wait.
Well, I haven't bothered to change, so you got a half-naked dragonborn in the front. So
With just this tentacle mask on.
Maybe we could bring them to the party. Perhaps they're into it. I don't know.
We can hope.
I was about to say, we're gonna have to see if, you know what? I'm gonna roll periodically on my own terms to see when a new soul finds the body. Because out there in the ether, souls are pinging, and somebody is always seeking the empty body.
Well, for all I know, I might wake up and then I wouldn't want to be very far away. This is what he's thinking. He's thinking, oh, I'll just keep this body here in case I switch back. Then I'll, be able to show up naked at the party. It'll be fine.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
It's gonna happen at the worst time.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this won't be the first time Malone actually wakes up and finds he's somewhere he doesn't remember, wearing somebody else's clothes.
I love Malone.
Yeah, poor Malone. God bless that man. But at least he's off a deserted island, right? He's living his best confused life here on mainland. So you guys begin to roll up on this castle, really, is what it is. At least a pretty decently sized one. When you roll into Have Hollow, you see that it is a small town. It reminds me, in my mind, of kind of like a port city, but it doesn't sit on a dock, it sits on a bog. So there's like fog that's constantly lying in the air. The smell of like brackish water and fish are always prevalent. And up on a hill, not a very large one, but just like more like an embankment, off about half a mile, sits a very mysterious house. You can see, even at this distance, there's like strange flicking lights coming from the windows. Maybe there are 4 other adventurers trying to figure out what's going on inside a house. That happened 3 hours ago. But they're up there doing their thing. And as you guys roll through, you can hear the wheels on the cobblestones. Most of the town is quiet. But there is a small line that's beginning to form out of basically a caravan of royalty that's beginning to show.
Yes.
And make their way towards the castle.
May I ask a question? Do my parents go to this party? I'm just asking.
Looks like you're gonna find out.
Or do I know if my parents go to this party?
That's up to you. Do your parents go to this party? That's a you question.
Awkward.
I think that as far as my character knows, they don't. Because as far as my character knows, they're always upset when he does shameful things, and so they're quite straight-laced. I don't know how true that is, but that is what my character
Well, they're always
understands.
judgmental because they don't want you showing up at this party because they attend.
that might be it. But as far as he knows, they're super judgmental and they're always embarrassed by him, and and they always are like, don't do shameful things. But that's all he knows.
Yeah.
For all I know, they
yeah.
also actually go to this party.
Oh, they do. You just don't know. Oh, they do. Yeah. So you guys come rolling up. You have 3 carriages in front of you. There's 2 guards in plate mail that stand on either side of the kind of gate where they're checking invitations for people. These 2 guards, and they let 1 carriage roll on through. This one's a covered carriage with horses. You can't see who is inside. The next carriage in front of you rolls up. They check their stuff. Banter. Your turn. Who's driving this caravan?
Our driver?
You think Bronies gave you a driver, do you?
Oh.
Maybe Aiden? Do you want to? I don't know.
Can try.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Like maybe I feel like you can loop them and then pull them this way.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps Gerd Durgit should go and be our driver.
Oh no.
Gerd Durgit, you want to drive?
I don't think.
I mean,
I was just thinking level 9. Not the hands.
Really, all you're getting out of it is all I need is basically a general survival to make sure you have the horses under control as you come to a halt. So whoever wants to roll the survival can be driving.
I don't know.
Wisdom 7, not me.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Who rolled that one? Was that Aiden?
Aiden.
It's definitely
Aiden.
these damn hands.
These damn hands.
These damn hands. And you guys actually came to a stop and you give it like a tug to try to move them forward, and the horses rear back and neigh and clomp to the ground and begin to take off into the gate without stopping. Just wasn't quite the touch. The 2 guards seem very upset. Of course, they have to step back for the trotting horses. Yeah. They, a bunch of people come out front and calm the horses, but you guys have made it kind of inside a courtyard area. The guards come drawing swords, and they point them at all of you, and they say, "Halt! Invitations, or we will behead you on the spot."
Sorry. Our horses are a little wild tonight, and
Looks to me like your driver has a tad case of stiff fingers.
they're very sensitive about it. I would appreciate you not saying it around them.
Oh, pardon me, my lady.
But we do have invitations, and she wants to take the invitations from everyone.
He grabs them and flips through them. He hands 2 to the other guy so they can both look them over and assure that they are in fact 100% quality. He looks around, spins, and lights it on fire. And you realize when it lights on fire, it turns a interesting color, like it's blue color, as it whooshes up.
Oh.
And whooshes up. And they go, "They're good. They're legit."
Brandon wants to say, will you 2 be joining us later?
He slides his face plating up so that you can see underneath. These kind of bulbous goldfish eyes stare back at you, a furrowed, tough brow, and he says, one eyebrow lifts so you can see his full eye. And he says, "You don't mean to participate?"
Why, yes, I do.
Hey, you can tell he adjusts himself. Steam comes out of the armor that he wears a little bit from the neck, and he adjusts and he says, "Ma'am, I have no place in such activities with royalty. I am simply a guard. But if
I'm
you
sure
want
we
to come
could
to the
find you a
stables
place."
later, I'd be more than happy to oblige." And he slides his little piece back down. And he goes tip tip and kind of smacks one of the horses on the hiney, and it begins to trot straight towards the stable, which is right in front of you. The valet takes it, picks it up. They ask about what to do with the naked man in the back. Is he going with you, or should we just watch him?
Gerd Durgit walks to the back and basically just fireman carries him because he's not at all, has no dignity. I mean, this happened in the gladiator pits all the time. You just gotta get it done.
Wow. They go.
Florian's about to wonder, is this a wise thing? But then he doesn't think about it, and then he just.
You see the valet really think about this moment of you taking a passed out person, naked, almost as a jaybird, to this party, and then they realize, no, that's pretty fucking normal. And they give up on the quest. They say, and they're like, okay, and they pull it in. And you guys are ushered. You can see the foot traffic of the very fancy people begin going into the palace. As you enter, it is quite a sight to behold. They announce you when you get to the top. How would you like to be, announced?
What is on our invitations? Do our invitations have cover stories?
No. They are simply like, you're invited to the annual animal festivities.
Aiden will just stick with their name.
Okay.
Aiden Lightwood. No one's going to really, in their mind, no one's going to know who they are. They're a paladin of the forest.
Sure, yeah. And he says, what's your last name, Aiden?
Lightwood.
Paladin Aiden Lightwood, as he announces and ushers you down a flight of steps, very Cinderella style, to a giant ballroom filled with people in animal masks. Next.
Yeah, Branwen's gonna do the same. Her last name is Haven.
Yes. Branwen what was it? I just said
Haven.
Haven. I was gonna say Hayden. Haven has attending the party. Some people nobody really cares. It's all stupid stuff.
Gerd Durgat's just gonna look at the guy at the front and go, Gerd Durgat.
No, sir, you can't use that language here. What is your name? This is a fancy party.
It's like Hordor.
Fancy.
Fancy is your name.
That is my name.
Fancy Gerd Durgat.
And he puts his arms up and goes, woo!
Somebody in the very back corner also goes, woo! And matches your energy, but it's only one person.
But he just does this, not realizing that he was carrying.
Oh yeah, there's a naked body.
Off.
No, when everybody realizes what you're holding up is the naked body of a man that's passed out, everybody goes, woo! And they join you in the hoop and hollering of what hopes to be a very fruitful evening, we'll say. And last but certainly not least, Lord Florian in Malone's body steps up. At least you have him fancy clothes. And a unicorn mask. Name?
Lord Florian the Fair, eldest son of Duke Florian of Greendale. Known for my dancing and my way with women. Go on.
They turn and look at everybody and repeat exactly what you say. The entire room turns to look, including two figures off in the corner, who turn and look first, heads snap, at the announcement of their matching last name.
But they're in masks, so, I don't recognize them.
You don't. You just see everybody stare at you. And you don't look like their son.
At all.
But the naked body
does.
That was just held up in the air does. This adventure has gone way, way out from where I was planning on going with it.
Look, it's my flaw. It says on my character sheet, by my words and actions, I often bring shame to my family. What am I supposed to do? It's right there.
Well, your Gerdurgit is showing your actual bits off to everybody. And you have clearly assumed the identity. This old man, they believe, has threatened their son and assumes the identity. You have all, praise be, made it to the floor. You made it to the floor of this ballroom. There is a fancy band that plays. In addition, there's general chatter and such. There are some like fingery type foods. Oh, I shouldn't have said it that way. There are some light hors d'oeuvres on the table. But there's also at one end of the room a series of troughs where fancy people are on all fours, just like, and they're like eating from the troughs in this like very animal-like nature. You can see a few people going off to another section of the ballroom that has been closed off. I'm gonna kill Trooper before this is over with. There's a whole section of the ballroom that's closed off by like a curtain. They're black curtains. And it's very dark on the other side. So this is probably the safe space for this event. You don't see anybody just outright like humping one another in the ballroom area.
It's a dark room.
It's a dark room, but you can see people like whispering and like taking each other's hands. Masks are worn by everyone, so you can't really see anybody's faces. And it's highly, encouraged to like not take yours off.
I put my arm out for Branwyn. Looking super old.
Yeah, like
She's just gonna like place her hand onto, like, she's not gonna wrap it around. She's gonna do like that.
I say, do you think it was unwise for me to announce my actual name at this party? I mean, you always announce your actual names at parties, but maybe that was the wrong idea. Hors d'oeuvres?
It doesn't really go into the whole incognito thing you were shooting for. I don't kind of clash with that plan.
Oh.
you hear the click, click, click of fast-walking heels. As that, you know those heels. Those are your mama's heels. And she comes like, click, 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 over to you. What you see, your parents are standing next to one another. You recognize their general body shape. They're in very fancy, fancy clothes. Mom even broke out her best dress, and you know the dress. More importantly, what mask do your parents wear, Lord Florian?
I feel like my father wears a fox mask. And my mother, she would wear some sort of like peacock sort of mask with lots of peacock feathers. And my father's mask is somewhat plain,
Okay.
but it's clearly expensive.
Yeah.
And hers has got these like really beautiful peacock feathers.
Okay, yeah, hers is almost like a beak. It comes to this like point. It makes me think of one of those old, not the apothecary mask, the plague mask, the plague doctor mask. As it comes forward, very daunting. And around it are these peacock feathers, hinting at what she is. Your father's is very, very simple, just kind of black snout. But it's what he wears behind him, to resemble the fox, as he does adorn a tail.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't he?
Of course he would.
And she comes clicking up to you, and she says, "Sir, I do not mean to be forward," as if it's a joke. I mean, look at where you are. And she says, "But I must know, why do you have my naked son in the hands of a dragonborn?"
But Mummy, I'm not naked at all.
"I am not your mother!" And she rears back and slaps you. Like, smash you across the face, and she says, "How dare you call me your mother? I didn't even... We haven't even put a safe word in place." And she says, "So listen to me when I tell you. I want answers. Why is my son passed out naked at one of the most important parties? And why are you posing as him and wearing his trousers?"
I pick up the unicorn mask.
I ask you to contain yourself. You are causing a spectacle.
"You are right." She fluffs her peacock feathers and fixes her hair. "You are right. I should have known he would eventually have wound up here. Honey, we may want to consider a new annual party, as we cannot flourish in a place where our son also flourishes."
I put the mask back on.
You know, hypocrisy shortens your life.
The husband looks up, "Honey, is that true?" I don't know why I imagine total nuts. She says, yes, darling. Come, let us find another place to flourish."
Mummy!
No! She like spins her clape, it like whacks you in the face one last time. And she says, "I swear if I see that horn again, I will rip it from you and keep it."
I turned to Aiden. Was that some sort of genital threat? Do you think? Or do you think that was metaphorical, or do you think she meant it?
I don't think you want to know.
Oh.
She didn't sound gentle.
I used a different word. So I think I'm getting grounded when I get home.
I think if your parents are as easily shamed as a stranger telling them that hypocrisy will kill them sooner makes it look, all you have to do is threaten to expose that they were here.
Oh.
And ruin their reputations. And they'll forget this ever happened.
That's sneaky.
Aiden, I think you and I will be grand adventurers together.
And the party is pretty, like I said, pretty normal. It continues. How would you guys like to proceed? You have a general concept of who Lady Dottie Rouge is, but you don't know what she looks like, Lord Florian. This castle is multi-stories. There's one giant, that kind of tower that goes at the center. So obviously if you guys end upstairs, you know that the upper floors are, probably private of some kind, but there's a giant tower that sits in the center of this place.
Yeah, Brandon's just gonna look around, maybe just, get a more, like, lay of the land, or, look around the party, see if there's anyone, like, suspicious, or, just do, like, a general perception.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception. And you could also do an insight if you wanted to be more, like, sensory aware of people's, does that make sense, of people's actions?
Yeah.
The perception's gonna be like, that person looks shady. An insight's gonna tell you more of that person's actions.
Okay, I'll do the
case.
insight then.
Okay. Oh, a 15.
15.
Most everybody seems to be very focused on what this event is about. People are mingling
they are.
around, they're flirting with one another, there's a lot of low-cut and very, promiscuous looking outfits. The king himself and the queen, or I say the duke and his wife, sit up at the front. I wouldn't say, on stage with the band, but away from the general activities, the opposite side of this black curtain, literally.
Well, does he have a new wife?
Yes.
Oh, how awkward.
That was fast.
He does have a new wife.
Aiden is actually going to be keeping an eye on the two of them.
Okay.
And kind of watching the crowd to see who is paying them a little too much attention.
Mhm.
Hoping maybe that is a good way to spot the ex-wife.
So at the 15, there are a few, we'll give Branwyn this, there are a few shady people. There's the Wallflower Corner. You don't know if these are the people that were forced to come by somebody else that was like, hey, you're gonna have a great time. And then there's Dot off in the corner that's not having a good time. Yeah, there's that group of people. And then there's a few, No, at a 15, no, you won't notice it. Aiden, do you want to roll an insight or perception?
I'm gonna roll an insight.
You want to roll an insight too? Okay, roll an insight. Oh, that'll do it. Damn. You and Branwyn kind of like point and share and take the room in a very, inconspicuous way, we'll say, as Gurgurgit's still person in air, and yeah.
Give me a moment. I got something I want to do.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Please. That's why I was like, and here he stands.
He's strong, but he also weighs something, so he's starting to get a little heavy. So, in his limited awareness at the moment, he realizes that this is a naked guy, and this is a party that has naked people in it. So he will be least conspicuous if he can put Lord Florian's body where all the naked people are. So he is going to be searching around for behind the black curtain.
Oh God!
For a convenient place to place him so that he blends in.
Of course.
Well, there's a lot of naked people behind that curtain. You peer in there and you're like, you're not shocked. You don't have
From a gladiator's background, I see naked people all the time.
Yeah, you peer in and you're like, oh yeah, all the naked people are in here. And you find we'll call it a bench, an empty one, if you wanted to drop the body or put it somewhere else. But you peer back here. There's things
like
happening.
A normal bench or one of those special benches.
It's not. This one's not special. This seems to be a repurposed church pew.
Oh, best ever.
repurposed how?
Meaning it's been brought here and it's not in the chapel anymore.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, I'm just going to
I'm just
set him
crying
down
here.
gently and try and pose him like he's got a little tired and he's just kind of arm tucking.
Yeah, you put him in a purposeful dab position. As he lays in dab, there on a bench. Just
I'll
hanging.
I'll leave it for the sake of modesty because he is unconscious. Try and cover up bits with maybe a food plate or something. I don't know. Or a bowl.
You find a giant platter and a cloche.
Mm-hmm.
And you between those things, you manage to position them on him, in a way that covers the important things. Modesty is of the utmost importance, of course. Very nice. And when you come back out, first off, Aiden and Bren, when you see this happen, as you're peering around, you can't help but notice him take him into behind the black curtain and comes back for a plate and a cloche, and then he goes back behind the curtain, and then he comes out with nothing.
Do you think we should have stopped him?
No, he's good. Fine.
I'm not gonna stop him. Kind of motion him over to maybe keep a closer eye on him.
No, he's good. They don't touch sleeping people. Consent.
Yeah.
Number one.
There's a giant sign on the wall that, in fact, in medieval lettering says consent is number one.
It
is a consent party. I will.
It is. Now, I have my own plan to try to find out who the Lady Rouge is.
Okay.
Having a 7 wisdom, which makes my insight and perception very poor,
yeah.
I have a different tack. Instead, I'm going to dance provocatively with acrobatics and see who is too prudish to enjoy the display. So I'm going to dance around in my old man Malone body. It would work better were in my young person's body.
No, sir, it will work just fine in Malone's body.
I'm going to.
No, sir.
I'm going to, with my little spindly arms and my pot belly, I'm going to acrobatically and sensually dance around the crowd.
Okay, what I need is an acrobatics and a performance. I
can't wait for this roll.
Because
okay.
Brandon and Aiden, you guys are peering, and I'm going to get to this 23 insight because I think what's going to happen is we're going to find the dancing is going to out.
I'm hoping the dancing will out her.
So go ahead and you pick a table. There's a bare table, kind of like a bar top. You crawl up. Nobody stops you. There's always the one guy who has to shake it every year.
Every year.
I mean, you could make some serious gold coin. So let's see how you do. So roll me the acrobatics and the performance.
Acrobatics first.
Acrobatics first. Let's see how smooth your moves are in this creaky body.
A 23.
Yeah, you are body roll, just super fluid. Go ahead and roll the
Channing Tatum, but in an old man's body.
Roll the performance. Let's see how good the performance is.
10.
So you are you're body rolling, you're bumping, you're grinding. Some people are yeah. Somebody leaves a copper piece at your feet. But it is crude enough because your performance is not very good that you are drawing attention. You're not with the rhythm of the music. You're touching all over yourself. Somebody tosses a drink on you.
Which I take as
Flash dance.
Precisely.
Flash dance.
You psh yourself. And Aiden, when this begins to happen, there is one woman in the corner that finally catches your eye. And she only catches your eye because no longer is she slow fanning herself. Now she's as if she's just horrified. And she's fanning at this vigorous rate. Not because she's hot, like an old woman in a Baptist church. She's fanning herself like this because it is all she can do to hold her tongue behind this mask. She wears she wears a spider mask.
Yes. Brandon's gonna say to Aiden, I don't know if I should be aroused or if I should look away. She's reaching for like her coin purse and like I just like not even looking at you, but just can't stop looking.
And I full on pole dance. I've got the acrobatics. It's not in time with the music, but like you have never seen a more limber
Old man.
old man.
Malone will feel that tomorrow when he wakes up back in his body.
But he will have such a reputation.
Such a reputation.
Work that core.
I love it. So, the four of you, I say you've convened. The three of you probably have convened at the feet of your friend, who is still bumping and grinding to his own rhythm. And you do see this woman. She's kind of fanning herself, and she's just like, you can tell she's fed up. She like slams the fan closed, slides it down her cleavage, and she like click, 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 clicks away. This time, though, she doesn't walk towards the black curtain or the exit. She walks over to the band.
Uh-oh.
And Aiden is going to try and head her off at the pass.
Cool. Go ahead and, you can just make, I would say you could probably easily do that. If you want to, like, grab her, we'll do a roll, but just the walk to cut her off is not a roll.
Aiden is going to try nonviolence. Before that, I didn't get the chance to answer Bronwyn.
Yeah, she's like, are you?
Well, he's definitely making our job easier. And then they are going off to head off to the lady with the spider mask.
Yeah, she would follow Aiden. Like, are you? Okay, I can walk away from this train wreck.
You guys
need to work it out.
Yeah. Durgit, what are you doing when you see this happen? It looks like they're heading off, but your friend is still, like I said, bumping and grinding.
At this point, I think I'm probably, again, low intelligence, still high wisdom. I'm going to walk around the edge of the room to basically, instead of making a beeline straight for this woman, I'm just going to be aware that, oh, my friends are over there and they're all congregating, but I don't want to cut through the middle of the dance floor. That's rude. And so I'm going to kind of walk around the edge, and like as if I pass by like a food table, I'm going to think I'm really smart by pretending to get food, but I don't know what I'm getting. I'm just putting it on a plate. So it's like putting like grapes in the middle of like a meat plate or just weird top stuff on things. So by the time I've made it most of the way around, I have this pile of mismatched food on
just
a plate.
Like stacked on a plate.
Yeah. And I'm just eating it because, Dragonborn, I'll just eat anything.
Yeah, of course. Like, you're like, and probably some things you've never seen before.
Yeah.
There's even a little entree, a little like side dish. It looks like a trough, and it's got like some kind of slop in it. It's like a gravy.
Nice.
It's very themed.
I'm gonna take advice from the chat and say I probably grabbed some of the garnish too.
Yes. Yep. You garnish the hell out of it. So Aiden and Branwyn, you do manage to cut her off pretty quickly on her way to the band. But as you do and you reach her, the Duke stands. And he simply points at Lord Florian. And he says, "Sir, the band goes quiet. I must know."
Record scratch.
Yeah,
And I'm in a handstand at the moment.
I must know. I hope to one day be as limber and fragile as your elderly body. How does one keep such vigor in your grind?
Well, I say, one thing that helps is keeping a young soul.
Well, it's a good thing I keep one of those around. And he pats the young woman that's clearly his young wife next to him. Carry on, sir. And the band like picks back up, and the woman realizes like when all this goes down, and it goes quiet. You hear her like huff under her breath as if like, how dare you? And she turns and almost bumps into Branwyn and Aiden.
I meant the young soul as like stealing people's souls like arcanally, but it's fine. You can just get married to younger people as well, I suppose.
Right?
Yep. Ma'am, you may not want to do whatever it is you're thinking of doing.
I'm sorry. I don't even know you.
But you proclaim who you are very loud and clear.
I have said no such thing.
Your body language says it for you.
Do you like my body language?
If I thought you would accept my advances, I would answer that question, but it is a
So
trap.
somebody that does actually know who I am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is a paladin who knows my distaste doing at this place?
A job.
Oh, I bet you are. She like mutters from behind her, or like she says, "No, but really, what do you want?"
No, but really, I'm here to keep you from making a fool of yourself.
Oh, it is not I who will be made a fool of.
I'm just imagining her actually, her
Like,
mouth actually.
yeah, all you see is this like this spider mask over her eyes, but the legs kind of like quiggle every time she, you know.
Branwen laughs with her. She's like, oh, she's funny.
So, may I? There's a very broad creature I would like to meet. It has tentacles.
Oh, you want to meet our friend?
Oh, you know the large one.
Yes.
I would very much like to
I would be
meet it.
happy to escort you.
Oh, this is great.
Exciting.
Will you please tell me first what it is you want from me?
As
Doesn't
I
it seem
mentioned,
odd that you just show up and you know the creature and you... What is it? You're making me nervous. So is he. She points at Lord Floridian grinding still.
I cannot speak for the dancing one, but we were hired to ensure that a scene does not take place. I do not know if that is your intention, which is why I wanted to have a conversation with you.
Well,
And your distaste spoke to who you were, as we did not know what mask you would be wearing.
well, some things they just are already going to happen.
Oh, that's no good.
So you're saying your plan is not even something that you can stop at this point?
I'm saying that the cake is already made. Good night. I have a large creature to attend to.
Is she gonna?
Camera pans over to Lord Durgit, who is so cleverly trying to toss a grape into his mouth, but like a line of soccer players blocking a penalty shot, the grape bounces off the tentacles. And obviously he keeps trying, not realizing why it's not working.
She comes over and goes, "Here, let me help you." And she grabs her grape and like, plops it into your mouth for you. It's not sexy. It's a bit rough. She says, "There, isn't that better?"
Thanks, lady.
Tell me, big one, where is it that you got such a wonderful outfit? She like runs her hands up and down. She's thinking that your scales are actually your outfit.
Oh,
She says, "You look just like a dragon."
Yep. That's what it be.
Yes, a dragon. You see, I have a taste for such creatures. I've always heard they are fierce.
Ugh.
My, you have such things, you say. I heard you came with them. And she simply points over her shoulder to Brenwyn and Aiden. And she looks up and shields her eyes once again. The angle is new on Lord Florian. And, God. You know what? Two people have actually jumped up and joined you. You have been grinding by yourself embarrassingly for so long that two people felt sorry for you. And they join you on the table to just help. You know, it's like you can't have a one-man train, so...
Yes.
Toot toot. So you guys, and she turns back and she says, "You came with them?" Them.
Yep. We all came to the party. We got invitations.
Oh, really? I'm interested to know who would have invited such a bold creature.
Well, I had a card and then someone burned it, so I can't show you.
Oh, so they... Oh, I see. Yes, no, of course. Who gave it to you?
Oh, some lady.
I see.
Asking the wrong.
Yeah, exactly. She has no idea he's this stupid. She says, I see.
Maybe she likes him, Tom. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
There's that song by Miss Julie Brown. I like him big and stupid. I feel like that's her theme.
She goes, my, you are a lud. Do you happen to know the person's name? The woman's name?
No, but she had big boobs.
She did she now? Well, I'll save that question for later. Tell me, big one, do you have a name?
Gerd Durgit.
I'm sorry, did I upset you?
Nope.
Then your name, sir?
Gerd Durgit.
No, your name.
That is my name, Gerd Durgit.
She kind of like straightens her dress and she says, well,
Gerd Durgit.
good.
And there is a definite fume of mismatched food in your mouth. And it's tickling the tentacles.
Charlie spits past, and she backs up and goes, "My, you do have a radius, don't you?" I see. Well, Gerd Durgit, if you would like to, I don't know, dance, come find me, and just a word of advice, because I like you.
I like you too.
A word of advice. Don't eat the cake. And she like pats him and she says, "Good night. I'm going to go over here, behind the black curtain."
Okay. Question. Is it possible I have already eaten some of the cake?
It is not. There is no cake
Okay.
out. There is no cake out. I mean, you might have ate biscuits and some things maybe like a cake, so you could get concerned based on your intelligence level, but there's no like cake. Yeah, he's questioning, did I eat a cake? I don't remember.
Have I eaten it? Oh no.
But he doesn't remember. Yes, I don't remember. You even are going through the bits in your tentacles.
Flavor save.
But you can't remember if you had cake or not. But you don't think you did. She does, in fact, go behind the black curtain. Aiden, Branwyn, Gerdurgit, and Lord Florian. You guys watch her.
The other Lord Florian, because one Lord Florian's inside the place with the black curtain.
Correct. Correct. This is getting into a time-space problem. So you guys, it's about this time that you hear the band, Lord Florian, you're grinding these two people up here with you, and the band actually comes to a lull. The song stops. I'm sure that you still have a couple awkward moments where you didn't realize they were going to be ending. And the fanfare begins. And out rolls a 6-tiered cake. It's giant. A bunch of like quaint little chefs come like carrying it out, like, oh god, don't drop it. And they set it down on a table that is brought out right in front of the Duke and his Duchess. And she, she's very, very pleased. She wears a bunny rabbit mask. There are 2 strange fangs, like teeth that hang out the front, which make it almost not sexy at all. It's just derpy.
May I ask a question?
Oh, of course.
She's young, yes?
I mean, from what you can tell, she's probably, I mean, she's well developed. So we're not talking 16 or 18-year-old.
but-
She's probably mid-20s.
Mid-20s?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
You know how we have bonds on our character sheet? And you know how mine says I'm in love with the heir of a family that my family despises? Could it be her? Okay, I'm just asking.
Of course it is. And Lord Florian, you know that laugh because you fell in love with that giggle
Oh no!
long, long ago on a playground far away.
No.
She.
I didn't know she married him.
Yeah, you begin to break down. The king stands and addresses the court. Everybody turns and looks. People from behind the black curtain peer out. I'm sure like heads like stack coming through the curtain. And they watch as the king says, "Tonight we dine, we feast, and we party. Why? Because we can. We are royalty. And we all must celebrate. Yes, Aiden."
Aiden's going to lean over to Bronwyn and ask her, "You don't happen to know Mage Hand, do you?"
I do, but I think I have something better. And she's going to cast Unseen Servant and try to command it to take the cake away. Like,
I was about to say, it's a big and heavy cake. How much can an
It's heavy?
Yeah, how much can, yeah, it's a 6-tiered cake. How much,
yeah, that's what I was looking
You said
for.
they wielded it out.
they carried it out.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, they carried it out and set it on a table. These 4 like scrawny little chefs. That being said, how much weight can the unseen servant carry? Does it say?
It doesn't say. No, it's just perform simple task at your command. Yeah, I was looking for a weight, but I know. Well, if not, I think Mage Hand is like about 10 pounds or.
Yeah, Mage Hand is about 10 pounds. This is a way heavier than a 10-pound cake.
Yeah,
It has a strength of 2.
I'm sorry, say that again?
The unseen servant has a strength of 2, so
Which means
Oh yeah.
which means it can move. Was it the times 15? So like 30 pounds? I think that's it.
No.
I was just looking at encumbrance the other night.
Mage Hand is great. Flip the table. I love it.
Well-
It's strength 3, 15 pounds-ish. Yeah.
Or maybe both, because like, yeah, Unseen Servant isn't a concentration, I don't think.
All right. So
And then Mage Hand,
yeah, so you could do it
It's two
together to try to carry it off. So here's the thing. It took 4 men, grown men, to carry it out for balance sake. It's probably not that heavy, but it is a balance problem.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it with 2, one of which can only carry like, yeah. So first tell me what your unseen servant looks like, and then we will work through this. As he continues to talk, and he says, "Tonight I present to you a token of my appreciation for your participation in this annual gathering. More importantly, it is what is inside the cake that is very exciting." Please continue. He's just talking as you guys plan this. Yeah, he's just talking as you plan it.
Your lifting is strength times 3. Strength times 15.
Strength
So-
times 15. 2 and 15 is 30.
30 pounds of cake.
30 pounds.
And that's probably.
Well,
200.
he's invisible, so I mean, it's just gonna hopefully look like the cake is like kind of lifted up and doing a little motion forward, and yeah.
Can I distract?
Well, where are you taking it? So where are you telling him to go with it?
Probably back to where it came from. Like if it came out of the kitchen area,
back towards the kitchen.
Yeah.
So first it has to like float up and out away from the table. You successfully do this, and about the time the Duke says these words for you, and the cake magically lifts off the table as if to heighten his speech. And he looks at his wife and he's like, "Bravo." He even mentions the band as if some production guy put this in play without him knowing. And he says, "Yes, for all of you, my valued friends, peers, enemies and patrons eat up. And they're doing it. They're carrying it, but not very fast. Like, to keep balance of it, it's like moving at this very slow pace through the crowd of people back towards the kitchen.
May I make a distraction so no one can eat this cake?
You sure can try.
Now, I will point out that is not why I'm making the distraction, but I hope that is the effect of the distraction. I step forward boldly in my old man's body, and I say, Duke, this woman who is your bride is my beloved. Tiffany, I love you. And
Malone is working some things out.
Malone is working some serious things out. He's gonna wake up tomorrow and literally have no idea this went down.
no, not at all.
But he will be known as the grinder throughout these parts for eternity.
Lady Tiffany, I love you, and I've always loved you. Run away with me.
Oh man, so all right. The cake is like floating at a slow pace. You step up. Goodness bless me, it like snuck up on me. And you step out. Actually, we're standing on this table and say this. And the woman stands. She wears, a very nice gown, silver and whatnot, with this derpy bunny mask. Like I said, it's got these two giant double teeth. And he's already saying, he says, Sir, I complimented your vigorous dance moves. How dare you say such things to my wife?
But your wife is my love, has always been my love. And then I'm going to go and recite like a sonnet.
Performance check. Performance check.
I'm very good at them. A 19. I'm going to get like my best in iambic pentameter sonnet to speak. Oh, how my lady with her, Lady Tiffany, and I'm going to extemporize it, and it's going to be beautiful. And it's going to sort of be about how wonderful Lady Tiffany is, and we'll talk about like things from our childhood that clearly Malone would not know, but I know.
You begin to recite a poem by the brilliant bard, one that has actually made his debut on this channel, William Shakespeare.
Yes.
And William Shakespeare wrote a sonnet that the two of you share quite joy in, and you recite that sonnet in particular. She stands, and you hear her say, "Oh, Lord Florian, is it you?"
It is, my love.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm many miles. It's too late. And she says, "I have married another." And she looks over, and she says, "Darn tootin' she has." She says, "And you, the Duke, says darn tootin'. And darn tootin', you have ruined my party. It is cake time. And now you speak up. We got married 6 months ago. All you needed to do was, you had your opportunity, sir, to..."
I didn't know that you were married. I was adventuring. But I say there shall be no cake until I have satisfaction.
Well, I say there shall be cake.
There shall be no cake.
There shall be cake.
How can there be cake when my heart is broken and I'm lying bleeding here on the floor, torn? I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. Cold and I'm shamed, lying naked on the floor.
Oh my god. Okay, Branwyn, Aiden, and Gerdurn. You see this going on. It is definitely a distraction. Branwyn, you're just trying to keep concentration and get this cake out of here. And it's still like
super difficult.
It is super. You're like concentrating. You're like, oh my god, please don't break. Aiden and Gerdurn, unless you want to do specific action, you're welcome to roll me a perception check.
Oh, well, perception is wisdom, so I'm not hosed.
I was about to say, good.
16.
Wow.
3s.
This is the perfect distraction.
Thank you.
Everybody is standing still, staring at the two of them like, there shall be cake, there shall be cake, there shall be cake. The whole room's like back and forth, except for the group of chefs and Lady Dottie Rouge. She is currently exchanging money with them in the back corner near the black curtain.
Shenanigans.
Do you want to go handle your girlfriend?
I think I might, after this delay, I might go over there and pretend like, or not even pretend, I'm just gonna hit on her because that's what you do when people hit on you.
That's what you do. She is, like I said, she's like counting out quick money to them, and she's like, well, get out of here. Go. And she turns around and almost like bumps into you. A tentacle smacks her in the face.
Challenge you to a duel.
Yeah. And she goes, my. I didn't think you'd, she makes sure you didn't see, and you would be here so soon.
I want to dance.
Really fancy. Yes, I know your name. I asked. He told me it was fancy.
So, I haven't eaten any cake, like you said.
This is good, because there it is. Walking away. Where is it going? Why is the cake going somewhere? She starts to get a little bit louder in the silence.
I told my friends I shouldn't have the cake, and they helped me.
No, you weren't supposed to tell. Your friends know not to have cake.
No, I just told them I shouldn't have cake.
Oh! Oh, but you told them to have cake.
No, I just said I shouldn't have cake.
Is Aiden close enough to make use of that cloak?
Yeah. You totally could. If you wanted to, she's gonna have to make that 15.
Let's do that thing. Because let's continue the disruptions.
And in the background, I'm still arguing with the Duke. Now, I realize that our mission was to not ruin the party, but you know.
She fails. And over, as Gerdurgit has very successfully kind of changed her tactics and everything, she catches something over her eyes. Aiden flips, I'm guessing, the hood up. It gleams off this huge chandelier hanging off the ceiling, and she goes, ah! And pulls back, and sure enough, she becomes blinded, as she did fail. So, that means that she's blinded, for the next few rounds, of this, and she squeals out, oh, my eyes! Oh, fancy, please! Catch me! And she goes to, like, faint. Do you catch her?
Sorry?
Do you catch her?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Yeah, she goes, oh! And goes to faint, and you reach out and, like, what she wanted, which is you catch her. And she's like, my eyes. She's being very dramatic, and it's beginning to draw attention from the king's quarrel to her. And she goes, they cannot know Gerdurgit.
And I'm in this embrace, which is like all dramatic and passionate stuff, except I don't realize that the tentacles are basically just kind of on her face.
She's like, I'm Gerdurgit. Yeah, she's like trying to be very sensual, but they're like kind of, it's not at all. It's all very awkward.
And I feel like Gerdurgit's like Fabio on the cover of like a romance couple novel, and she's there, and there's like instead of like the hair, it's tentacles.
Oh.
And she says, just make sure they eat the cake.
Why can't I have cake and they can have cake?
They can have cake, dear Fancy.
But I can't have cake. Why can't I have cake?
You don't want the cake, Fancy. It's
But what if I want the cake?
It's poisoned, Fancy. You know what this means, right?
That's rude.
Roll intelligence check. See if you know what
Oh God.
I think I might die.
She goes, poisoned. Gerdurgit, poisoned. You can't eat it or you will die.
I don't know. I eat a lot of things. My brain hurts.
She goes, then
How can I
stop
have
using
cake?
it. Then stop using it, Gerdurgit, and hold me.
Well, I'm holding you right now.
Well, yes, I know. I'm just trying to be romantic. Go with it, Fancy. She like, oh, Fancy. And she says, spin me around so he can see me. Spin me around.
Okay. Gotta make a strength check. Actually, it's gonna be athletics.
Yeah, do it athletics, yeah. Yeah, you like
13.
toss her in the air, catch her, and kind of spin her around very lightly, so that basically your back is no longer to the king or everyone in the court. And she like reaches up and she plants one right on the orifice of your mask.
That sounds so romantic. Wait, it doesn't.
Tentacles just flop around her face as she plants one on the end of your mask. And this got weird. She got weird.
Just now?
Sunday
Just now.
Funday. You know what? I have a line, and you know, it's called the fun line, and we crossed it hours ago. Now, she plants one on you, and there are a lot of people like, oh my, oh, and the king goes, shut up, and looks right at Lord Florian. You kissed my wife, and points right at Gerdurgit.
Okay, I feel like we're walking right into the ending of A Little Night Music, and I'm here for it. I just want you all to know it.
Don't you mean your ex-wife?
He like looks over. Who said that? Who said that? You know, and he kind of looks around. He's like, "You."
I will totally roll stealth if I need to.
Yeah, no, he's very much distracted, but he does. He kind of gets very flustered. He says, "This party is ruined. There shall be no cake for anyone. There shall be no fornication, and there shall be no fondling of my ex-wife." And he points right at Gerdurgit and he says, "Guards, get rid of that tentacled mess." And 2 guards begin walking over towards Gerdurgit. They don't have weapons drawn. They look to be reaching to, like, bounce you out of the party. And she says, hold me, Fancy. Don't let them take you."
And then I say, Lady Tiffany, he doesn't love you, but I do.
She goes, "Husband! Oh, God. Oh, husband! How could you possibly have said such things? She is your ex-wife!" And you can tell she's beginning to get flustered underneath. Somebody goes, "I just want some cake, man!" Somebody off in the corner. Somebody goes, "Yeah, some cake!" And people start kind of beginning to crowd in around the floating cake. Branwen?
Branwen's saying, shut your pie hole.
Cake hole.
We are going to go into... I'm going to go into a turn order here. So, because I have a feeling that it's time for Gerdurgit to smash some things. So, you have, right now, in terms of combat, there are 2 kind of guards walking towards you. There's never been major combat at this party, so they're not heavily armed, in fact. And then, well, that's really everybody that's against you guys, but we are going to roll an initiative order, so that we can just get some turns here.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow, 3.
Oh my god, I love it.
17.
I literally just wrote GD down for Gerdurgit.
It is really good on this fight.
Let me roll for these two guards. Hang on. Excuse me. I'm gonna do one of those. I'm gonna do one of those too while I'm at it. Okay. They are going to roll these 2 guards. They did not roll very well either. But since you rolled the nat 1, the guards will go. Alright. So, let's see. Yeah. Alright, Lord Florian, what did you get?
15.
Right.
17. 17,
Oh,
pardon
17. Okay. That's different. Let's see. Aiden, what did you get?
I've
We're all like, man, we bombed these initiative rolls. And Branwyn.
15.
All right. So first up, it will be, surprisingly enough, Lord Florian. Following with Branwyn, Aiden, the guards, and then Gerdur. As it currently stands. I love that. That's funny. Okay, here we go. First up, so it is a very packed room, and like I said, the guards aren't necessarily brandishing weapons, but Gerdur, no, I'm sorry. What did I say? Gerdurgit! Dot! I love it. Lord Florian, you are up first.
So, I realize there are many choices one could make when combat's about to start. Things that could be helpful and useful to the other people in your group. I understand that. I would like to make an...
We're not doing that.
No, we're not going to do that.
Today.
It's not today. I would like to make an acrobatics roll to dramatically, with a flourish, go from the table to the main dais so I can be beside my beloved Lady Tiffany.
Okay, let's see how you do. Let's start with just the roll, the athletics roll. Or I could take acrobatics too.
Yes. I'm going to, most 13.
Okay. You manage to hop off the table onto it. It's not terribly flourished, but you make it to her by jumping over the head of the Duke. And he goes, "You can't do this!"
And then I take off my mask dramatically to reveal my beautiful young face. But I forgot that I'm in an old person's body, but it's fine. I take off my mask dramatically and I say, "Lady Tiffany, come away with me."
She just rolled a 13 Constitution to look at you. You pull it off, she stomachs, she goes, "You are not Lord Florian."
But I am!
No!
I am your love!
Where is your hair and what is that on your face and where is your beautiful, beautiful brown skin?
I'll get better.
Better? You are sick. You've caught the old. My love.
Lady Tiffany, I too will be a duke one day. When not
if you make it that long.
That's my turn. My turn is trying to woo Lady Tiffany.
It's not going so well.
I know.
It's, you get there, you have the little conversation with her, and she's just not having it. It does now become Branwyn's turn.
Because
I don't know the cake is poisoned. I was bumping and grinding the entire time.
You were a perfect distraction. The whole game.
Thank you.
How far away are the cooks?
They have already kind of gone back into the kitchen. She shooed them when Gerdurgit came through, so but that's where you're headed with the cake.
Yeah. And the guards are pretty close, or?
Yeah, I would say the guards are nearby. Again, they're on the other side of people, so basically, wherever you want to put your body is fine. You just need to be in radius of the cake that's still, like, trying to move out of the room. People seem to be closing in on it, which is making the exterior area kind of more open and clear, and you see the two guards walk from near the king, like, around through the people, and they're almost, on their turn, they'll make it to Gerdurgit.
She's gonna cast out that net on the soldiers.
That's cool.
I don't know what I roll for, but I just want to use it.
Nets are cool. So, net uses dexterity.
Okay. It's a
like an attack.
Magical net.
It's a magical net. Let's see. Okay. So it's net +3. So, when you because it's a +3 net, when you make the attack, you add your dexterity +3 to it.
And you said it was just dexterity?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Dex and 3.
Dex and 3. Where's my dex?
What?
Ooh, nice. Mm-hmm.
Wow, sick.
And do so 6 total with the net 1. Well,
Yeah.
it's not terribly successful. You've never thrown a net before.
It still smells.
It still smells. You pull out, and everybody around you is like, "What is she doing?" This is probably what breaks your concentration, though. To throw a net, you need both hands. And the concentration on the cake breaks.
Yeah.
What everybody sees it have that moment in
Oh
air.
no.
Everybody, the whole room takes a gasp in as the cake, and it goes to fall. 4 people dive to try to save it.
No.
Nobody gets to it in time. At least only one doesn't. It gets smashed by it because he's all by himself, and it doesn't save it. And the cake lands and like everywhere. There's a hush that falls over the room as somebody goes, "Feeding frenzy!"
No.
And people start diving and eating on all fours.
No.
Oh, okay. I want to try something that's kind of rules breaky.
Sure,
Do it.
I have a channel divinity option that is Nature's Wrath.
Oh,
Ooh.
I love this. It's one of my favorite spells.
And I want to see if I can use it to stop people from getting to the cake.
What do we have? Nature's Wrath. It's one of those.
Houseplants.
We could say there are some houseplants around.
It's spectral because I'm a paladin.
Oh,
They're
that's
spectral
cool.
vines. I can throw it in chat.
Throw it in chat. I want to see that. That's really cool. Just so I also can reference.
Chat.
Chat. Oh, perfect. As an action, you can cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for creatures. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we will do. It is actually your turn. So you cast this to try to keep some of the people. There are a lot of people here. You're not going to be able to grab all of them.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is roll me a d20. Let's start there.
Okay.
Just a flat d20.
Okay.
So you get 10 people with vines, let's say. I am gonna roll a strength for all of them kind of in total. These are, they rolled very high. Or be restrained. It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn. Okay. They kind of succeed. Some of these people are very animalistic as they try to fight you. You can come up and see that they grabbed them up. People are like pulling through. They're in a feeding frenzy. It feels like a high school lunchroom during a food fight. It's beginning to get chaotic, which is what these people come for, but...
And the only person who knows the cake is poisoned is Gurdurgit.
Correct.
Okay.
If I have put that concept together, all I know is I can't have the cake and someone else can.
That's messed up. That's
Aiden-
racist.
Aiden is going off of the idea from what Lady Dottie had said about the cake.
Yes, that's right.
Wrong with it. They do not know that it is poison. They just know people should not be consuming
that cake, correct. All right. People are starting to consume the cake. Some of them, here, if nothing else, Aiden, they can't consume the cake and break free of you. So those that are breaking free can't be consuming. So it is still a distraction if it means anything. They can't literally be feeding their face and fighting off spectral vines. So some people are at least distracted by this. Here's what I'm going to do the next time. I'm going to treat this more like a swarm. Next time if you cast it again, you can do it on a percentile. So you can roll we'll do a percentile die, and then you get the percentage of that, of all the people. So 40% of the people start fighting vines. We'll do it that way. I think it'll be easier than numbers. If you want to use it again. Very cool. It does become the guard's turn. And they weren't actually attacked because that didn't go very far. But they walk up and they say, "Sir, we're going to need to ask you to leave." Right to Gurdurgan.
I don't want to go.
They said, "Sir, we're sorry, but the Duke has asked you to evacuate the premises."
I don't feel so good. Clearly, the mishmash of food and the garnish is probably a bad idea.
Oh no. They say, "Sir, are you feeling all right?"
Oh, my tummy hurts.
We should get you outside, and it's, some fresh air might do you some good.
Automatically failing a con check.
Oh, I don't. Uh-oh. And he vomits, which triggers his breath weapon, which is a 5 by 30-foot beam of acid.
Oh, is it stomach acid?
It's his breath. Well, it's probably that too, and some food and garnish and everything. Dex, let's see. Let me roll. Let me do
The mask is gone.
here.
Poor mask.
Just the tips of the tentacles are all that, like, there's only, like, this much of the tentacles remaining. They've been, like, burned off. Oh my god, that's hysterical.
So, 10 points of acid damage, DC 13 to take half. Dex save.
Okay. They fail. And they take all of it. And you hear them go, as they, like, burn up in this acidic body, like your stomach acid, basically. As they literally, like Indiana Jones style, melt layers of flesh, blood, skin, and they're just like, and their bodies drop. Because we'll say you hit them both in the radius. Other people scream as it catches the ends of dresses and stuff around you. And in your arm still remains Lady Dottie Rouge. Because you were holding her, if I remember correctly. So you have vomited over her cradled body. She gasped. That was atrocious and amazing. Can you do that
wipes
again?
His mouth and burps.
Oh,
sorry.
She goes, I am in desperate need of a quick exit. Can you do it again?
There's nothing left in there.
She goes, here, have some cake. And she goes, let's get a piece on the way out, shall we? It should upset your tummy some more, won't it?
But I can't have cake.
You know, it's the only thing you haven't eaten. Maybe it will make you feel better.
I don't like her. She's mean.
I'm going to self-impose a wisdom check on that one.
Yes, for sure.
11.
11.
I'm going to say that I'm, like, not sold on that, but maybe keep at it.
Yeah, and she's
Maybe
like,
I'll change
okay.
my mind.
She's like, well, now I know he's not as stupid as I thought. All right, so, well, Fancy, you know I love to call you that. Fancy, maybe we could just go out the front door. No cake,
Okay, and I fireman carry her immediately.
Oh! And you, like, toss her. You hear the dude go, do not let him leave with my ex-wife! As he begins to point, and then something begins to happen in the space.
Are we having a Cersei situation?
Oh no.
It's way worse than that. So it's yeah, this will be fun. Okay. Let me roll a percentile here.
Oh my goodness. Abaluk, why?
Like, do they even have a percentile on that? They don't. That's silly. Why would they?
What did you do?
They do have a percentile, don't they? They must.
Oh, they do. Well, they have a D100. I feel like they have one somewhere, and I'm sure there's a thing for it. But okay. Oh my god, 92% of people. 92% of people in the room have consumed cake at this point.
No! No!
Are two of them Florian's parents?
Including your parents, who are on all fours. Just eating and eating Lord Florian.
That means I get to become the new Duke. Awesome.
Savage.
It is poison. Everybody roll me a perception check.
Oh,
Everybody.
I'm very distracted by my lady love.
This is true, but trust me. I need to know if you're gonna hear this one. Aiden
hears all.
somewhere off on the other end of the room, you hear somebody like, oh,
Ugh.
Oh no.
and gas starts coming out of the majority of people in the room at a rapid pace. A smell begins to emanate in the air, and somewhere off in the corner, Lady Dottie Rouge goes, quickly, Fancy, before it becomes messy. And she was quick, and she's kind of like patting him, like, go. As people in the room start grabbing themselves, some of them begin running and bolting out. It seems that whatever poison she has given them is not coming out up. It's coming out down. And the room begins to have a strange smell to it as people begin pooping themselves in animalistic style fashions. The king goes, "What is going on? What is happening?" I love that I have not had a donation in an hour and a half, and the moment I'm like, they start pooping their pants.
That's when you get the
Somebody
donation.
gives me a donation on pooping of pants. Well, I'm glad to know that my sense of humor is on point for all of you. And people begin pooping themselves. What is everybody doing? Guards included. Everyone is.
Everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
Except for the original Lord Florian because he's unconscious.
Because he's unconscious.
Yeah, Brandon's gonna try to get out of there.
You guys start trying to like exit. People.
I'm
are
gonna try to take Lady Tiffany with me to rescue her from this terribleness.
Sinking ship.
You're like.
Bye.
You start like
Is gonna try and talk to Lord Hollow to like tell.
to let him know. Okay, so you start running,
have to
Brandon.
listen to-
You join the group of people trying to exit the facility or the building, looking for facilities.
I want to go some other direction though. I don't want to go like where the whole herd is because
Well, you would know that if she's potentially living here, there's a door that has been guarded and closed off that probably goes into the rest of the castle. You could head that direction, which is opposite of them. You scoop her up, and she's like, "Oh, Lord Florian, it is you in this wrinkly, this scrawny, barnacled body." She goes, I don't know how I'm ever gonna love you. And then all of a sudden you hear, oh no, Lord Florian, my belly aches.
and I say, it's the ache of love.
No, I think it's the cake.
Did you have cake?
Don't tell anybody, but I licked the icing earlier.
And I say, I didn't have any, but come, we must escape this place together.
Since I'm getting up there, if I get close enough, can I put my hand on her shoulder and lay on hands?
Oh.
Yeah, make a dex. Make a dex. She did roll a 2, so for the record, it's gonna be messy. You roll. Okay, you do. You get over there. You see this about to go down like slow motion. She's like, and before it's like, and you dive and reach for her, and you reach it just in time to heal her from what ails her, which is basically the stomach. It's a stomach virus. It's like food poisoning. And she like breathes. And is like, oh, thank you. That was almost embarrassing. My life story. Let me see here about this deck of many things because I have gotten a draw now to help all of you.
To help?
Yeah, no, like please God, draw a magic card that helps them. Oh, I got it. Okay. I've got it. Okay.
We elope and go on a poopy moon. We do.
Yeah.
We're now 12.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know we're 12. So this event is obviously it's mass chaos, to say the least. There's cake and other things all over the floor. People are now coming from behind the black curtain, trying to figure out what's happening, seeing this coming out from behind the black room to see this event and realizing it's more horrific. The king is in panic. The guards are like standing around him to make sure that nobody's going to harm him. It's a. How about this? Any last actions from everyone?
Oh man, no, Bramwin is I mean, she's all for herself, so she ran with the crowd and is like, bye. I mean, we're not gonna get anything from this.
I tell Aiden, as I'm carrying Lady Tiffany, I say, Aiden, come with me. Gurdurgit, grab my other body. Let's go this way. Towards the other exit.
Yeah, like towards the castle versus away from everyone.
Yeah.
You guys
So Gurdurgit's with the lady still on his shoulder, going to go into the under protest, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's like, put me down. How dare you take me? No.
Going back into
going,
the black.
Gurdurgit. This is wonderful. Oh, how dare you? She's clearly like role playing in her own world. Go ahead.
And
She's
back
playing
into the black
pirates.
area to pick up Lord Florian's body. That has probably been decorated.
Correct. I was gonna say they have drawn crude things all over the cloche, the plate. Based on where you positioned them, they have drawn like high school grade crude things all over it. It's a sight to behold.
Here.
You scoop them up, the plate like on the floor, making a loud banging noise. And it's about this time when that happens that as you toss the body up, it must have knocked the wind out of the body as the body sits up and like, and it breathes. And it's like where am I? What's happening? He looks over and sees the woman with the spider mask. Looks up and sees that it's being carried by something, and you join everybody in the main space, and Malone says, wait a second, where are all my barnacles? And he starts feeling on his body for the barnacles he's supposed to have. Somewhere out in the universe, a body shifts again. Somebody is pulling these cards of fate, clearly fucking with all of us on a Sunday, and the last card that they draw as they lay their tarot for the day are the fates. And the reality of fabric unravels and spins anew, allowing you to avoid or erase one event that never happened.
Oh, that's hard, my friend. There's so many options.
There's so many things that need to be redone. But it's a very simple chain of events. The one that clearly is the most important.
It's switching my body back, clearly. So I don't have the old anymore. Like, I feel like that's the most important one.
In fact,
stopping the people from eating the cake.
Is that really as important as...
All right.
Paladin.
Okay, I like this game. Yes. This is fun. All right, here's how we're going to end this. We have event number 1 is replacing the not having the body swap happen. Event number 2 is assuring that nobody eats the cake. However, fate rewrites itself. I need at least 2 more options, and we're going to roll a d4.
Oh, this is great.
Gurdurgit is going to propose.
He proposes? Gurdurgit actually proposes?
No. The having eaten too much of the buffet, including the parts that aren't edible.
I mean, everything, just not something.
Gets their hands back.
And your hands come back. All right, this is the event.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dice gods.
Everything stays exactly the same, except when Gurdurgit goes to make his plate, he decides that everything looks really good. And he eats all of it on the table, including the things that are not edible.
Including the cake?
The cake is brought out separately.
Oh!
Cake is brought out separately.
Dang it.
So that when he projectiles
breath
weapon forward in the event that happens, it also hits Lady Dottie Rouge. It's just one more. It's just more condensed.
Does she die? Is she murdered?
Yeah. Zach's like, how do we? Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of acid.
That's a lot of acid. So Lady Dottie Rouge takes, I don't even know how much acid damage she takes.
Should she roll a save?
No. What we didn't realize is this is an origin story for a great villain.
Oh,
yes. She's disfigured and now switched back.
That's right. Lady Dottie Rouge is now a disfigured woman. Killed
She's
by
not the
her
Joker?
love. Yes. Betrayed by her greatest love.
The mask like melts into her face,
Oh.
and then she has like, oh yeah,
This
love
is
it.
And now this story is no longer about people pooping their pants publicly at a party.
It's about the birth of the Spider-Woman.
This is about the birth of the next great loaf. You guys, we just wrote the best D&D game that has ever D&D. I just need you to know that. And that's where we're gonna have to unfortunately end. I'm not sure what just happened with my the cameras are all off. Hang on, let me see.
I'm not sure what happened at all.
What happened in this game?
This game was chaos.
We did not do anything we set out to do.
I think we did. I think we did all the things we set out to do.
It was
right?
chaos.
I
We
mean,
made a scene.
I
we
love
ruined
it.
the party.
Ruined the party. Everyone had cake.
Zach's breath was by far my favorite part. Not expecting the breath. It's not expecting the breath. There needs to be a part 2. It's okay. Lady Dottie Rouge now has new purpose. The fates have given you the next great villain of Sunday Fundays.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, that unfortunately is all the time. Everybody has given me extra time, as is. So thank you. I hope that all of you got a good laugh, just like we did this morning, just like we did this afternoon. And hopefully you'll be able to go in with a fresh week now that we have told stories, we've rolled dice, and we have laughed communally together. So I am Little Red Dot. This is what I love to do, is laugh and tell stories. Oh, and pet kitties. And so, look at that pretty kitty. So yeah, this is what I'm about. So if you've enjoyed yourself, please follow the channel so you know when I go live and do this again. I've got some extra, announcements to make about some upcoming things right here on the channel. So hang out. We're going to go around, meet everybody once more, and they can tell you where you can find them online. And then I'll be making some very important announcements here. So let's actually start with Zach.
Yes, you can find me at this May Memorial Day weekend at MomoCon at the Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta, Georgia. I am the senior director for all tabletop, RPGs included, and I will be running a few sessions of Genesis. So it should be fun.
That is awesome. I will be there, in fact, at the Momo. I feel so special. It's my first press badge ever. Like, just a little dot press badge. So I'm feeling saucy. I'm gonna go play me some games. Yeah, it's gonna be...
You have to wear a fedora with a little press badge in it, all like 1930 style.
Because clearly it doesn't count if you... Just the badge is not enough. So I'll definitely be there with Zach. So if you guys are passing through Atlanta or you're interested in a good con, come hang out. North by Northwest will be there too. It should be a good time. Moving right along to Steph.
Hello. Pardon me. I am Steph the Bard on most things. My kingdom for being that on Twitter, but you can find me as Steph the Bard. You can catch me every Wednesday playing Starfinder on Experience Points, and in April we're actually streaming the last session of our slasher game, which uses Fate Core, and I will. It's been such a fun and wild game. There are dolls killing people, and it's ridiculous. And so yes, tune in if you can to see if I survive. And I will also be at the MomoCon, so
That's...
hopefully hanging out with some of these lovely people.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
I'll take you out to dinner on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have. I'm hoping to bring. I don't know if I'm gonna get my hard copy yet or not. But I was hoping to bring for the Queen, which is that new card game that came out by Evil Hat. But I don't think that the deck will be here by Momo, which is sad. It'll be here by Jen, but I'm gonna. So, anyways, we'll find something else to play. I'm sure we got games up our sleeves, and I know if I don't, Lord knows that does.
Yeah, entire library.
Yep.
So moving right along, Kristen.
Oh, okay. You can find me on the IT Pirate now. I will also be at MomoCon, and Gen Con, and yeah. So I have a game tomorrow. Just check out my Twitter And I also have a monster lore podcast called Roll for Lore. So, yeah. And also in Atlanta, we have a Sladies Week, which is just encouraging women, non-binary, those who identify as women, just a welcoming environment. All the games are led by women. I will be running a game Tuesday and Wednesday, and our first day was today. So just trying to encourage more women in gaming, and so just check that out, ATL D&D, and I think that is it.
Nice. And last but obviously certainly not least, Trooper.
Hello, I'm Trooper SJP, and you can find me on Trooper SJP at Twitch or Academic Foxhole on Twitter. I'll be gymming the series finale of Night Witches on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Geek Space TV. Also, I can announce this. I will be GMing some Clockwork Dominion, which is a steampunk sort of game at Gen Con this year. And it uses cards rather than dice. And it's very cool.
Very
I
cool.
want to play.
That's cool.
You should play.
Yeah, I want to play.
I'll make sure I can wear my shirt with a detachable collar so I can look very Victorian.
Yes, of course. Very nice. And again, I'm Little Red Dot. I will drop my social and everything, just as you guys can drop some links in chat too if you haven't already. I do this a lot on both my channel and other people's channels, but I'm excited to announce that come April, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on bringing content here for all of you to watch. So you will be able to, as of April, continue to catch me on the Roll For It network and with the North by Northwest podcast. And then I'm excited to say that Witch Girls Adventures will be coming back. Thanks to everybody that is a Patreon supporter. Every $2 to more than that have helped support and bring the first show to this channel where my players are going to get paid.
Nice.
Which I'm very excited about. So help me continue to build an incredible group of people that tell stories here on this channel. You can do that via my Patreon. You gain access to things like monthly chats with me on Mondays. Sometimes we do movie nights. I also provide sneak previews of things like personal playlist, DM notes, and first cast announcements long before the public knows about them. So just a few of the things you can get by being a Patreon supporter. And more importantly, you can come join my Discord. Please do. It's a really cool place to hang out, and that's not because of me, that's because of all of you, and the community that we've built together. So I really, really appreciate it. It's a big step forward for me, and I am so excited. We're gonna get art, it's just going to be great. So that starts up Tuesdays in April, so be on the lookout for that. The next thing that's going to be coming to this channel, which I'm also excited to say, needed a home, and I gladly provided one, which is my friend Marcy, who you may know, who runs a lot of Cypher for Monty Cook, wrote a beautiful game called The Owl of Laesia that she's still playtesting through. And we did a season of it last season, and they were looking for a new home. And I'm excited to say that they will be calling the Dot Lot their home moving forward. So on Sundays, every other Sunday, you can catch some beautiful fantasy cypher right here on this channel. I'll be playing in that game. It's actually really exciting to be playing and not DMing. I get to just play on my own channel, so it's very, very exciting for me. So those two things will become permanent for the next couple months, and then we will continue to do Sunday Fundays. If you would like to sign up for a Sunday Funday, guess what? You can do that. There are still... What? Just like all of these awesome folk did. There is sign up available in my Discord. So the best way to stay up to date with that, because I release every 3 months sign-ups, is to just go hit up my Discord. Plus, all the cast members that you see here, all the cool people in the community that have hung out all day long, are all there. And we chat. And try to make a safe space for all of us to be able to chat about the things that we love. From our own pets, there's a place you can put picture of pets, because we all like to do that, to talking tabletop RPGs. So hang out with us. Thank you all again for being here and sharing your Sunday with us. So if you want to get me, you know how to find me. And now you know how to find all these awesome people. So until next time, I would say... don't do anything Lord Florian wouldn't do. Nope. Don't eat anything that Gurdurgit would eat. That's way better advice. Don't eat all the things that Gurdurgit would eat. Or better yet, don't eat the cake.
Don't eat the cake.
Because I don't get to eat cake. You shouldn't get to eat cake.
The cheesecake is okay.
The cheesecake's okay. Key lime pie, you're good. All right, gang. Until next time, Bye.
Bye.